it's a bit easier to digest.
So, dann noch schnell alles einstellen. Ja, ja.
And things like that you want to get out of the game, it's a bit higher.
So I feel like that's pretty awesome.
Ich muss aber das noch einstellen.
Sort of more traditional fighting games because they will get an opportunity to learn two different characters.
Yes.
In the same match almost immediately.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, it's definitely you know, with all the kind of strategies you can employ with the Infinity Stones, right? With each Infinity Stone, as you can see, Ryu right now, he's using the Infinity Surge and he's shooting a
Das Spiel ist aber auch cool.
When I use my Infinity Surge, I send out a life-draining whip.
Was da momentan dran ist.
It really changes your team dynamic, right?
Muss man halt mögen, ne? Wow, und jetzt tut sich das Spiel aufhängen.
Der Ryu macht manchmal so ein KMH, Alter.
Das ist Hadouken, ja.
Hadouken ist eigentlich der Schuss.
Nein.
Doch.
Ja, was ist das, ein Schuss?
Hadouken ist kein Strahl.
Das ist das Hadouken, was er macht.
Hadouken ist aber nicht der Strahl.
Das ist aber Hadouken.
Ja, eine andere Version.
Doctor Strange's
oh, right.
The end?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Where he goes at the end of the movie?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's the Outer World.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Yeah, if you didn't see it, sorry. But yeah, it's the Outer World combined with the Dark Kingdom, where Jedda's from.
Yeah.
So we combine both of those worlds, and what you see there is, the kind of the giant symbiote getting fed.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
What other movies will we show the end of right now?
So each player picks their two fighters, and then they pick a stone?
Yes. So let's go back to the character select screen, so you guys can
So, es
see
dürfte
it.
online sein.
Yeah. So you pick your two favorite heroes, right?
Moin Dario, jo,
highly
es klappt.
interested in.
Passt.
And, there's no assist types. That was what was present in the previous entries, right? Then this one, you pick your two favorite characters. I like Ryu a lot.
Qualität ist, glaube ich, nicht die beste, aber naja.
Dormammu. And then, you have one of your 6 Infinity Stones. And as I mentioned, there's 2 actions per stone. The Surge action, which you can use anytime.
Oder ist die Qualität okay, Dario?
And it really adds to your team.
Ich glaube, der Bildschirm ist ein bisschen klein.
If you use, like, let's say the Power Stone, you get a knockback attack. If you use the Space Stone, you could pull the guy in. It really changes how your team kind of functions. And then there's the Infinity Storm, which is like this grand action, and it really powers up your characters. It helps you come back, make a comeback in a match, or really press the advantage, and it makes you feel really powerful because you break a combat law associated with that stone. So, case in point,
weil der Stream ist halt auch nicht besonders groß bei mir. Wenn ich Vollbild machen würde, wäre es halt kacke bei mir.
And they can't really move anywhere.
So I call it cheating, you call it breaking the law. What's the difference?
Außerdem wollen wir ja nicht komplettes Material da irgendwie klauen.
That just means, you're
it's more like a law of physics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's
cheating,
legal.
Yeah, cheating means like you know.
Oh, Dante ist sogar auch drin, ne?
You're actively kind of like skirting it. This one, you're just controlling the law.
Bei dem würde mich am meisten interessieren Rocket,
But I'll pick Power Stone.
Zero und Dante.
You got Ryu and Dormammu with the Power Stone. And what's our environment? What level are we playing on this time?
The CPU? Oh, it only has one.
No. I mean the stage.
Oh, the stage.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's an umbrella. So, AIM from the Marvel universe.
Aber die Grafik ist gut.
With Umbrella from the Resident Evil universe, and you're fighting in this stage that combines.
And so is that what all the stages are?
Yes.
So combinations of Capcom and
exactly. This
Marvel.
Yes. Every stage is a mixed world where we combine two aspects of like key areas in both universes.
Meinst du den Strahl, den normalen, die Kugeln?
Nein, das ist Hadouken.
Mein anderer, okay.
Well, that's called story mode. And when you play that, you'll be able to see this awesome story unfold as to why both
characters
these universes are in the same place at the same time. And it tells a story of why.
Aber das ist auch wieder so ein bisschen in dem Dragon Ball Stil.
In an effort to destroy all biological life.
Das da, ja, ich weiß, ja.
Das sieht doch aus wie Kamehameha.
Ja, das heißt ein bisschen anders, ich glaube. Nee, auch was mit Hadouken ähnlich.
He is the buffest mayor. But he smashes cars here and there. He's got sticks and he eats chickens off the street like a weird dude. But like then he's going up against like Iron Man, who's like shooting lasers out of his hands. Like, how do you find that balance there?
Well, that's the beauty of this game, right? Like, them being in the same universe puts them kind of on the same fighting level, right? So what we try to do is we try to make sure that
Es hat ein bisschen was von dem Dragon Ball von dem neuen.
dealing good damage, they're moving around fast enough, so that even though they might be fighting
Also die Powerleiste unten auch.
otherworldly opponents, they're able to be capable. And you know what we try to do is we just try to make sure that the characters are true to their game and they have their signature attacks, so that they're fun, but at the same time they can put up a fight.
Und weg mit, zack.
God, that gun's awesome.
Dude, it's like the cannon. Yeah, but
Schade, dass sie den Spider-Man nicht genommen haben vom Iron Man.
turned on the Infinity Surge with the Reality Stone, and he controlled all the elements. So he was shooting lightning, ice, fire. He was utilizing everything. Whereas when I activate my Power Stone, I can knock him against the wall, and all my attacks are very, very strong. I become the embodiment of power. So.
Obwohl ich aber auf 1080p Zuschauer leck, ist das so komisch verpixelt, ey.
Brian, that big face.
Ist nur noch in der Bitrate. Ist gar nicht verpixelt.
Yeah, that's Modok.
Bei mir schon.
I somehow remember him and don't remember other.
Kann ich das höher stellen? Machen wir mal auf Auto.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before we see Modok in the
Auto
Marvel
ist
movies.
Source. Höchste ist Source,
Yeah, he's very
Ja, dann mache ich jetzt auf
very
Source.
weird dude.
Yeah, Modok?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's actually
Wo
an
Source hinter steht. Das ist das
organism
normal. Das ist
designed,
das, in dem was die streamen.
or designed for killing humans. Yeah.
It's about time.
Servus Lena. Alles gut. Heute ist kein Pokémon dran, deswegen ist keiner da, weil du dich immer wunderst, warum du Erster bist.
Let me go back to the roster here, and let me pull out Firebrand. So there's Firebrand, yes, and
Oh man.
Hulk sieht aber auch cool aus.
who else do you guys like?
Oh, sogar Thanos. Habe ich gerade eben erst
Like
gesehen.
Hagar.
Yeah.
Dude, the mayor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's actually, what's funny is that on my
Lol, sogar der Ritter.
my team, if I was to
Das
play
ist von
this
einem uralten
field,
Spiel.
Against someone else who was experienced, I'd play Hagar and Nemesis. That's actually the team I want to play. Because when you use like the Space Stone, which is really interesting about it, is you can pull the opponent in. So typically,
Warum machst du bei Gamescom?
they want to stay away
Weil
from
es
a guy
dafür
like
extra eine
Hagar,
Kategorie gibt.
but you can use the Space Stone to pull
Ja, aber
them
wir
in,
sind ja keiner von der Gamescom.
right? And then he can
Trotzdem
kind of
guckst
just
du
run
die
Yeah, I
Gamescom
really
an.
like
Bei IRL kannst du es
yeah,
nicht machen.
Firebrand's intro.
Ach so, okay.
That's kind of how he jumped off in his
Bei
games,
IRL
too.
oder Talk
Like,
Gaming
what I like
Talk
about
shows.
Firebrand was this is like
Servus,
one of the
Drache.
first times I've ever played a sort of spin-off video game, especially one starring an enemy.
Like what? Like Demon's Crest? Is that what
Yeah,
you're
like taking the
Gargoyles.
18 Uhr wird's
taking the
gut, da
enemy
kommt
from
Dragon Ball.
Ghouls and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts,
Oh, yeah.
and then giving him his own game was like
Yeah.
it's such a bold idea. Well, there's Hagar's
Mein
signature.
Gott, ist der
That's
Typ
what got
hässlich,
highlighted.
dieser Firebrand.
Yeah, and
Well,
then
he just piled of.
Where is he getting all of these?
Der wirft einfach mal Mülltonnen.
barrels from?
Barrels. Yeah, so he has these barrels now, because in like previous
ist auch aus.
games, when you were fighting
Können,
them,
ja,
you ran away,
ich würde dir eine klatschen, wenn ich so
right?
aussehe.
So he was always at a disadvantage. So what we did was we
Da
provided,
fliegst du aber Meter.
by giving him barrels. So now he can catch guys who try to stay away from him or jump away. Same thing with when he picks up a barrel. You see that he can use it to block
Oh,
projectiles.
that's
so,
awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Ja, Lena, alles
Usually,
gut,
I mean,
kein
in
Thema.
the final fight, he's breaking those open and finding those delicious rotisserie chickens.
Well, in this game, there's apples in there.
Oh, that's good.
And
So he's
there's
eating healthier these days.
yeah, he can't be eating was it street turkeys all
Street
the time?
turkey?
Yeah.
Street meat.
Yeah,
get
that can get-
salmonella.
yeah,
Reichen die, um da überall mitzumachen?
Street apples.
Ja.
So.
yeah.
Zweimal, ja.
I like it when the big Infinity Storm
Yeah.
text pops up on screen.
2200 braucht man, glaube ich.
Power.
Mhm.
Oh man, I am getting mopped.
Das liegt nicht an dir, ich nehme für den nächsten Stream mal den neuen,
Happening.
So you see, when I activate the Infinity,
den neuen, wie heißt der?
Wow.
so I can find it.
Das
right?
neue
And
OBS.
then I can just kind
Da
of
kann man dann nämlich auch runterskalieren, die,
Vielleicht. Deswegen kann auch sein, dass es nicht daran liegt, sondern weil bei mir einfach Qualität da ist.
it's pretty dastardly.
bei dir ist Qualität da.
One of
Mhm.
the,
Nein,
more
die
exciting stones.
Twitch verteilt manchmal
That's
einfach ein
so
Random
all
Streamer
are
Quality, heißt, dann kannst du bei denen einstellen,
Now
ob,
Firebrand has
Ja, aber
a-
warum hast du es dann bei mir?
Sort of like aerial style.
wieso soll ich es nicht bei dir haben, weil dein Channel, die er hin und wieder kriegt, wirst du da nicht durchgehen.
Ach so. Na, wir müssen es testen. Weil der Hansa hat das auch und er meinte das.
He's pretty
Wer mit dem
I would
neuen?
say, complex, but at the same time, just his standard.
Welche Lache? Von dem Typ oder was?
Are really easy to digest. But for those
Riskant aufgepasst.
who really want a character that they can really confuse the opponent with and learn a lot of tools for, Firebrand's definitely up there.
Mein Gott, der Typ ist echt hässlich.
Like you wouldn't suggest like
He's definitely. I wouldn't say he's a beginner character. Now, mind you, there's mechanics in here that are
Was ist
suitable
denn
for
mal?
beginners that make him usable for a beginner, but at the
Sieht
highest
aus wie der
level,
rote Hai,
I
nur
would
ohne
say
Rot.
he's pretty good.
I don't think I realized how ripped Hagar is. That's really intimidating.
Like, do you see how vascular he is?
Yeah.
The guy, he's,
That's
yeah,
a good word to describe
Yeah,
it.
it's definitely the apples.
It's the apples.
Ist eigentlich der Stream leise genug? Hört man uns noch?
Ja.
Gut. Ja, guck mal, mit so einer ganzen Mülltonne, die er wirft.
Players just starting out. You and I did a video.
Und noch mit der Eisenstange drauf, jawohl.
pretty good, pretty fast.
I did.
I think.
Ja, ich kann's auch nicht bei mir.
Get, really good a lot faster. I think
Ich versuch's, wie gesagt, ab morgen mal mit dem Ding. Mit dem neuen OBS.
you know, utilizing the simple combo.
Dann gucken wir mal.
Utilizing.
Ach, der Typ, der labert, ja, ja.
I could take down Evo.
Ja, der Blödi lacht, das stimmt.
I don't think you could take it down, but you could definitely get out of your pulls. You know, and that's better than how you did in Street Fighter. So.
Was that on Street Fighter 5?
Yes. So who's a good character for someone like me to start out with?
Let's see. Let's go back to the character select. I think that, and these characters are pretty strong. They hit pretty hard, and they don't require a lot of memorization. I think the characters
Ich hab wenigstens Muskeln, Drache,
that fit
siehst du
that
mal.
rule are Hulk.
Das wäre sogar gut.
He has armor on his
Und das
back.
ohne, dass ich ins Fitnessstudio gehe, wa?
He's
Also-
really easy to work with other characters. So I would recommend him. I'd recommend Thanos, right? And Thanos is new.
Na,
to
dann
this.
sieht er ja nicht so aus wie
He
ich.
hits once again really hard, but he has cool moves like easy teleportation.
Servus Thanos.
He's pretty awesome.
Servus,
I'd also
Thanos.
recommend.
Das läuft echt so. Ich mach das voll verwirrt.
Fast and he hits
Weil er gerade selbst im
far.
Bild war.
So even if you're kind of flailing,
Ja, und jetzt nimmt er sogar noch Thanos. Siehst du mal, kommst genau richtig.
connect.
Hat er ja nicht genommen.
So
hoffentlich.
Doch, doch, hat er.
definitely the character I mean, these three characters I'd recommend.
I wish we had two controllers and Brian and I could play.
I know.
Dude, I wish you guys could play.
Yeah.
Like you guys.
I really dig Strider's art style in this game, by the way.
Strider always looks cool. Man.
Yeah, he
He's
really
just a
does.
really cool dude.
I really
Ach
miss
Gott, jetzt fängt meine Mutter an zu singen im Nebenzimmer. Schießkotze.
80s and 90s.
What's funny in this game is like
Keine Ahnung.
Gamora and Strider in the story kind
Ah, die Tussi da ist auch cool. Ich weiß nicht, wie sie heißt, aber die ist auch bekannt.
Right? You have a space ninja. And
Du weißt ja auch den Namen von
Capcom's
ihr.
ninja, and they kind of go
Nee,
after
Morrigan, okay, habe ich
the
nicht gewusst.
Grandmaster Mayo. I mean the enemy Grandmaster Mayo. So yeah, they work together.
Ja, mal
Even
gucken, wie der Thanos
like,
ist.
From the range that Strider's hitting from, he has like a really good range. Get throughout a sight.
Der Film wird eh gut. Infinite War.
And
That bird.
what's the Capcom and Marvel mashup in this?
Da ist er. Boom. Ja, einfach mal so wie Broly.
Metro City from Final Fight. So I don't know if you see the statue of the character Damned back there, and also the punks from
Ah, es sieht geil aus, der Thanos.
yeah
What were they called? It was like the Mad Gear gang?
Mad Gear Game.
Yeah,
yes.
how do I know
Dude,
that?
yeah, dude. And then you know this also is New York. So you have the Avengers Tower back there.
Yeah.
If you look at the back, you see the various posters. So you have Captain America trying to
Ah.
lead people into the fight against.
Der ist aber scheinbar nicht so
You also have
movebar.
J. Jonah Jameson and Hagar back there. If you look at the billboards in
That's
the back.
that's such a great mashup.
Yeah.
Where's the guy from Final Fight that's like, oh my car?
Brett? I don't know. We don't have him in there.
Well, I'm throwing you some ideas for DLC. Just put him next to
Alles
my car
gut, wie
back
gesagt, ich
there.
teste ab morgen das mal Drache.
Yeah, it's great that I can't remember
Überhaupt
the
kein
specific
Thema.
Mega Man characters, but I can tell you the name of the Mad Gear gang. So what's going on right now?
Das höre ich ja irgendwie öfter.
Now, yeah, she
both have the
turned
power
on.
Nein, lieber Domi, das ist kein Podcast.
And right now, all of her hits are magnified in terms of strength. As you can see, yeah, every hit has a lot of impact, higher
Und
damage.
jetzt spiele ich den Vodcast danach ab und dann heißt es wieder, nein, das ist kein
defending against
Vodcast.
character. So it's a pretty strong stone to use.
You got a,
Miezekatze hat eine Glatze, das habe ich früher gesagt, Lena, okay.
moves of the different characters.
Definitely, yeah. So in this game, what we have is we have mission mode, and what's awesome about the mission mode is
Alles gut, Reise, überhaupt kein Thema. Wie gesagt, ich mache das morgen wieder anders. Nur jetzt halt nochmal umstellen ist dumm. Überhaupt kein Thema.
Actually move around, super jump, all that kind of things, right? It's a great tutorial to introduce people to the mechanics of the game. Sure. But then from there you can pick your favorite character and actually go through individual missions and see their special moves, you know, team synergies, possible team synergies, combos, things like that. So it can teach you, you know, the basics as well as the complexities per character.
That's really cool.
And then on top of that, we also have training mode, which you can then use to, you know, figure out scenarios. You
So, mal gucken, was kommt als nächstes.
And learn how to fight that. And even
Gab's da halt auch eine Liste?
I mean, while you're in that mode,
Ja, unterm Stream steht die.
Na, jetzt runterscrollen ist scheiße.
you can turn on online matches, so people can challenge you. So while you're practicing your combos and strategies.
Was labert der Xenator? Moment. Servus, Domi, alles gut bei dir?
That's awesome.
Und Tomb Raider auf der
There's
Xbox One.
definitely a bit going on.
Das interessiert mich nicht.
Cool. Thank you so much for bringing Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite by the IGN stage and playing for us today.
No problem.
Showing
man.
off
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Much more to come from IGN live at Gamescom.
Ja, Lena, ich weiß es nicht mehr, ist so lang her. Gut, und dir, Domi?
IGN Live at Gamescom 2017
Boah, ist das laut auf
presented
einmal.
by Fortnite, available now, and Destiny 2. Pre-purchase exclusively on Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access. If you're out there, we need your help. The storm came, the monsters followed. Now, it's time to fight back.
Bitte, bitte, gerne. Ist ja auch schon wieder nächste Woche. Oben Beta von Destiny.
Was? Ja, nächsten Dienstag für mich schon.
Mhm. Oh Sven, jetzt schreiben schon nicht zu.
Problem, warte mal, Montag schon
Welcome
für
back to
mich.
IGN Live from Gamescom.
29. ist die, ne?
Ja.
Ja, dann kann ich am Montag schon spielen.
And we're talking about Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Nice.
And you might be asking yourself,
Montag
why
und
are we
Dienstag
talking
noch.
about Rise of the Tomb Raider?
Für
It's
Schule
because
gehen.
you just announced the new, you're taking advantage of the Xbox One X release.
Absolutely.
Coming November 7th. So tell us about the upgraded version of Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, so Rise of the Tomb Raider is going to be enhanced on Xbox One X, and we're really just trying
Wird
to
man da
take
jetzt
what
das schon
the
Gameplay
market was
sehen
already
von dem neuen
and just
Ding?
make it even more
I share that same
Thank
opinion.
you,
Ja, ein
appreciate
bisschen.
that. Make it even more immersive
Wovon?
and vibrant.
Yeah.
We're working
Ach,
with
Rise
Dixie
of Tomb Raider, die
Software
wollen ja die
again,
Grafik
so
da
these
verändern
guys,
und alles.
They're phenomenal. They know how to eat
Anpassen an die neue
every ounce of
Xbox.
power out of a piece of hardware. And the main upgrade is the fact that you can now choose between 3 different visual modes. So we have native 4K support, which delivers the highest possible fidelity. We have the what we call enriched visuals mode, which means that we turn on all the technical bells and whistles and really just dial
Nativ
everything up for
4K
a
die
very
auch,
lush,
okay.
very vibrant graphic treatment.
Na,
And then
Domi, ich
finally
bin
we
nicht so
have
für die
frame
Xbox.
rate
Die ist auch jetzt schon
which
direkt
will
wieder
hit
ausverkauft,
60
ne?
frames per second across most of the game.
Ich hab mal
And that
geguckt.
really delivers that
Scheiß
silky
braucht doch
smooth
keiner.
gameplay during the combat, really enhances those
Na,
high action moments.
scheiße, so
you can
nett,
switch
aber...
anytime
Doch.
between the different visual modes
Also,
and just
das ist
choose
einfach
one
das Gleiche
that
wie
suits your
vorher.
playstyle.
Yeah.
Nee,
Especially my first
das ist ja
time
nett.
seeing the trailer, and,
Das könntest du ja 4K auch mit der anderen spielen.
Very, very pretty.
Nee, bis auf die Grafik ist alles gleich.
Because I played it when it
Wow.
first came out on Xbox One, but I haven't gone back to it since then. But it definitely sounds enticing.
Thank
It's a
you.
good
Das
excuse.
sagt jeder
Thank you.
anders.
Yes, I agree. If you already have Rise of the Tomb
Aber für
Raider
mich wäre
on
sie jetzt
Xbox
kein
One,
Kaufgrund, weil die
then
meisten Spiele halt auf dem
enhancement
PC
for
kommen.
free. It'll be a patch that goes out to everyone on November 7th. And if you haven't played
Da
it
kannst
yet,
du immer
then you
noch
really
joggen,
have no
okay.
excuse, because we are just dialing everything up. We're going to add HDR support.
Ich
so
hab
you
gestern
can
geschaut,
add
da war sie
visual
ausverkauft.
representation. We've got true spatial audio now, so including
Also Amazon und
Atmos,
Mediamarkt
that
technisch.
3D audio treatment. And we've got higher
Ah, da sind wieder
on
welche
raw,
freigegangen,
on
okay.
NPCs, on the environments. It's really just dialing everything up.
Hast du
adding
Glück gehabt.
that level of detail and immersion that we've never had before.
Well, along with the when it came to PlayStation 4,
Die haben ein kleines
the
Kon...
20th anniversary.
Ja, ja, klar,
yeah,
aber...
there's a bunch of fun stuff like the,
Gestern, wie gesagt, waren schon welche ausverkauft dort.
Polygonal Lara.
Dann haben sie heute wieder
She's gonna
welche
look very sharp in
She
4K.
was
zu verteilen
incredible.
gehabt.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're going forwards by going backwards a little bit, but it's awesome because all the 20-year celebration content is available on all platforms. So it's a
Allein
great
schon, weil's
way to
weil's
just
Xbox
look at
ist,
the
will ich mir
game
nicht
in
kaufen, weil
a
ich
completely
nicht
different
für
light because you get
Online-Spielen
those extra
bezahle.
sharp. Even
Das
though we
ist
have
nicht so
better
viel wie
anti-aliasing
bei...
Ich glaube, das wollen sie doch doch ausstellen, oder? Jetzt bei der Xbox.
So werden sie nie ausstellen.
Aus Sicherheit habe ich mir auch direkt beim Microsoft Store vorbestellt. Ja, man weiß nie, ne? Der Follower-Sound. Miadonis, danke für den Follow. Vielen, vielen Dank. Oh Gott, geht weiter. Flerterer, danke für den Follow. Und willkommen. Der ist zu lang.
Welcher?
Der Follower-Sound.
Nein, der geht noch 20 Sekunden.
Vielen, vielen Dank. Fühlt euch willkommen. Ja, immer lieber 2 im Haus als keine. Na, man kann es ja zur Not auch wieder verkaufen. Die gehen ja gut weg. Der gute Follower-Song.
We always try and make
Oh Gott, Luca.
Ja, bitte.
Kumanzen, danke für den Follow. Dankeschön für den Follow. Welchen 4K-Fernseher ist zu empfehlen, der beim MM hat mich schwindelig beraten. Oh Gott, also 4K-Fernseher könnte ich mir nicht mal leisten, deswegen habe ich mich da gar nicht so informiert. Ich glaube 65 Zoll ist besser. Chaka, kann ich dir leider nicht helfen, ich bin da kein Profi drin. PC-mäßig ein bisschen, ja, aber fernsehtechnisch, da bin ich die falsche Person für. Ich guck, wenn überhaupt, gar kein Fernseher mehr.
Ist auch langweilig, Seni.
Es kommt auch nichts mehr.
Ja, doch. Kommt ganz viel toller Kacke.
Und Servus Tomanzen nochmal, Dankeschön.
What could that be?
Rich, thank you so much for coming by the show.
Thanks,
Oh,
Dan.
Domi, vielen, vielen Dank für die 3 Euro. Was ist denn los? Dankeschön.
Coming to Xbox One X on launch day, November 7th.
That's right. Cool.
Vielen, vielen
Stay
Dank.
tuned. Much more to come from IGN Live here at Gamescom after this.
So, was kommt denn jetzt? Naja, beim heutigen TV kommt nur Müll. Eben, sag ich doch. Ich guck auch fast nur noch Blu-rays.
IGN Live at Gamescom
In der Klotze läuft immer das
2017 is
Gleiche, ja.
presented by Fortnite, available now, and Destiny 2. Pre-purchase exclusively on Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access.
Danke dir, Domi. Vielen, vielen Dank.
If you're out there, we need your help. The storm came, the monsters followed. Now,
Der hat wieder ein neues reingemacht, ich hab's gehört. Oder 10. Bitte keine Follower jetzt. Da hat irgendwas reingemacht. Da hat es gerade aktualisiert bei mir, diese Szene.
Eigentlich habe ich nur die Donation Sounds angemacht.
Ah, okay.
Aber gar nicht, dass du mich daran erinnerst, dass ich noch einen neuen reinmachen wollte.
Purchase Destiny 2 exclusively at Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access.
Also jetzt kommt nämlich nochmal Domis mit Sound, das wird das mal vorgelesen.
Ah.
Hey everyone, I'm Alani here at the EA
Aber die
Showcase
können sich auch nicht
at
entscheiden.
Gamescom
Mal ist es
2017,
leise, mal
where
ist
they've
es
just shown
laut.
off a whole bunch of games at their conference, and this place has a really cool setup. Let's check it out.
Ich guck auch fast nur noch Blu-rays in der Klotze läuft alles das gleiche. Das stimmt, ja.
Ja, in 4K ist das sogar auf dem PC, Alter.
Ich schaue nur noch TV, wenn Anime-Filme oder Animes kommen. Ah. Hast ja auch Netflix für. Welche Beta, Domi?
How did you actually go about making this?
Well, first,
Wahrscheinlich Destiny.
drawings.
Okay.
The first question is always how to
Du kannst ja mit uns spielen.
And, the
Nein.
second is just
29. ist doch oben Beta.
Wir sind aber schon zu viert.
Ach, sind wir schon? Okay.
Ja. Du, ich, Daniel, also Weizenmehl und Klaus wollen auch mitmachen, weil ich weiß.
Ja, da hat der Chaka auch recht. Im Netz findest du mehr als auf dem TV.
Obwohl, vielleicht kann Domin aber mal gucken. Falls er am PC das kann.
Just like they say, do something you love and you don't have to work a day in your life. So we're not working.
Kann sie eher einen Tag früher spielen. Heißt, ich werde an dem ersten Tag erstmal alle 3 Klassen direkt spielen.
So we're basically in the heart of the Death Star right now. What went into making
Warte, du hast Montag E frei, heißt, dann kann ich Montag E spielen,
Well, actually, this is for the movie theater.
Montag wieder zu Hause?
Ja.
The place where the guy is waiting outside and get into the movies on the right and the left. And if you want to, I'm gonna show you that magical door right here. Opens up. Oh gosh.
Ist gut, Luca, alles gut. Ich weiß, momentan ist nichts Interessantes zu sehen, aber ist alles gut.
So one of the coolest parts of this area is this automatic door that you have here. How did you make that?
Well, first of all, studying the movie. That's the main thing. It's also an epic scene where Obi-Wan gives his life.
Da soll jetzt auch ein Film rauskommen über Obi-Wan, ne?
That Han, Leia, Luke and the droids and Chewbacca can escape.
Ich freue mich schon auf die Beta Destiny 2.
I think these are the
mal gucken, wie es ist.
What really be liked from all these fans and the people knows what's happening.
How long did it
actually take you to make this booth?
To set up this booth over here was 2 days, but everything was made.
Oh Gott, Nathalie, danke für den Follow.
Both were each working.
Ich hasse diesen Sound.
And this set over here was it's not the main job.
Someone who doesn't have a lot of time.
Danke, lieber Nathalie, dankeschön. Herzlich willkommen. Sorry, dass ich lach, aber der Sound.
You need to research. The much closer you get through that imagination in the movie.
Ich hoffe, auf meinem Rechner schmiert. Was? Schmiert beim Spiel nicht ab. Ach. Was nicht passt, wird passend gemacht.
Ja, sicher, bei Seni sowieso. Kaputten Festplatte.
Genau, der läuft bei mir auf der kaputten Festplatte, der läuft auch bei dir.
Alles bei Seni. And feelings are the main thing what humans are about what's good and what's wrong, what's right and what's wrong. And that I was 10 in the first movie,
so gemein.
When I saw the first
Was denn?
Never Let Me Go.
Nix.
Lass es raus.
Was denn?
Egal, das.
Was?
Was soll ich noch ein Battle Ready Hutsasser und Battle Ready Nido King für die Preisbox machen? Könntest du tun, nur wenn du Interesse hast.
Language that don't need to explain. It's just love.
Ich zwing dich zu nix, Dario.
Wie ist denn, hä?
Ton, das war's jetzt schon von Star Wars, oder was?
Alter, what the fuck? Kann man gar nichts von Star Wars sehen, ne?
Ah, Life is Strange kommt jetzt, okay.
Wie auch immer Life is Strange kommt, das Spiel ist uralt.
Yeah, we're ecstatic. August 31st.
Was wär, hätte ich eine Lutscher am Po?
Danke, Miriam.
Vielleicht Werbung für Oreo macht das alles wirklich Sinn. Krieg keiner vernünftige Werbung hin.
Vielen, vielen Dank, Miriam. Fühl dich willkommen. Ich kann die in Shiny machen, wenn du willst. Ist egal.
Now speaking of punk,
Pre-release.
Das mit dem Lutscher ist am Po ist immer noch am besten.
Collaborated with a band for this game. Like, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so there's a British indie folk band called Daughter. They're amazing.
Kommt scheinbar Neues raus.
With them to compose a completely original score for all of Before the Storm.
In 9 Tagen soll es sogar rauskommen.
So we shared a number of briefs with them about the themes and the elements of the game that really kind of explore who Chloe is and
what the fuck?
Of Arcadia Bay this time around, and they've drafted music.
Alter, nee, das kann ich dir nicht antun.
Yeah, what kind of?
No, I'm not at Gamescom. It's just a restream.
I mean, when I sort of think of Before the Storm, when I think of Chloe, I think of sort of she's got a kind of punk sensibility.
Yeah, I think there's something amazing with what Daughter's accomplished.
Und diesmal kommen voll viele Leute nur durch Gamescom, Seni.
For Before the Storm feels simultaneously, I think, fitting for Life is Strange, but at the same time different
Kannst du einmal so einen auf German Restream machen, Seni? Das war alles so den Scheiß labern.
Nein,
Ach, ein DLC ist das. Was? Wieso laber kein Müll? Laberst du oder so Müll?
Ja, dafür bin ich bekannt.
Wissen wir.
The Marv, alles gut bei dir? Servus. Kauren ist nicht gut, stimmt. Schlechtes Vorbild, das Kind. Da, das Kind hier, das raucht. Bei Life is Strange.
Ja, kein Kind mehr.
Kein Kind mehr? Ah, okay. Hat sich gut gehalten.
Sie ist 19 oder so.
But the ability to kind of push anybody's buttons through a special sort of dialogue minigame to elicit the kind of behavior that she wants from someone. So in the case of the mill, the footage that we've shared, where she's at this sort of illegal lumber yard, she had to talk her way past a bouncer. One of the ways that the player can get inside is through utilizing the backtalk system to convince the bouncer that she's tough enough that she belongs. So it's an interesting way to explore kind of how Chloe is very different from Max, but this is not an alternative to
So GTA 6 ist confirmed? Nee, Quatsch. Das war doch jetzt wegen dem Auto.
And this would inevitably show us different sides to Chloe as well, wouldn't it? Because I think for a lot of us, you know, with the original Life is Strange.
Oh, du Scheiße. Leo, dankeschön für den Follow und fühl dich willkommen. Die Sounds, die bringen mich heute noch um. Ja.
Chloe she can be kind of a polarizing character. She certainly has her fans. Some people are maybe a little bit less enthusiastic about it. But I mean, obviously, you know, you write for this character. Like, what are your thoughts on writing for a character that can be polarizing?
I think everyone in the writers' room has had obviously really bad days. We've all grown up and gone through adolescence and those teenage years.
Ah, das ist jetzt halt so ein Spiel, was mich nicht so interessiert.
Weil die Story dahinter nicht kennst.
Eben, ich hab's erste nicht gespielt, deswegen kann ich da nicht mitreden.
Das erste ist nur DLC.
Na, das ist halt ein DLC. Aber es gibt doch auch noch einen ersten Teil, oder? Ist auch der zweite, oder?
Das ist das DLC für das Hauptspiel. Das ist das erste Teil.
Siehst du mal, das habe ich nicht mal gewusst.
Ja, unten steht doch drin, Life is Strange, nicht Life is Strange 2.
Vielleicht drehen sie ja bald den dritten Teil.
I mean, just thinking back to my teenagehood, I was an idiot. Like, I was like an awful teenager. I was
Before the
terrible.
Storm, okay.
Have you been consulting with teenagers?
With terrible ja, dann erklär mal, um was geht's da?
Wobei?
Ja, bei Life is Strange.
Weiß ich selber nicht, ich hab's ja auch nicht gespielt, aber ich weiß, ich hab's mir öfter angeguckt.
Okay.
Also schlecht ist das Spiel nicht.
Yeah, I think everyone in the writers' room at Deck 9, well, we have a pretty broad range.
Ich dachte, das gab's schon mal, nämlich. Also jetzt den ersten Teil allgemein da.
480 mal 360 Das ändern wir jetzt nochmal.
And I think across the board we're all pretty familiar with those worst aspects of our youth. And I think that's been one of the more fun elements of crafting Chloe.
Du tust mir so leid, Seni. Tut mir so leid, was ich
The story you're telling takes place 3 years prior to the original Life is Strange. We're going to be following Chloe, but we don't really know a lot about, you know, what the story is that we're going to be experiencing there. I'm sure a lot of that is by design.
Yeah.
But I know you've also said you wanted to tackle grief.
That's right.
That's like kind of like the big subject you're trying to tackle.
Yeah, I think you
müsste ich das Spiel halt dazu kennen, sonst kann ich da nichts zu sagen. Wann kommt Pokémon heute gar nicht? Knallhart gar nicht. Gibt's heute beim Luca.
Was?
Ein Witz.
Was gibt heute bei mir?
Pokémon.
Ja, umsonst. Jeder kriegt einen Shiny mal Shadow.
Das ist nicht
nur bei mir. Kein anderer von euch bei Uria. Einfach nach dem anderen, sagst du?
Ja, warte, ich höre gerade nichts. Der pustet wieder.
Der was?
Der pustet wieder. Dankeschön, Terra, für den Follow. Ach, nee. Der nächste.
Eine Lutscher am Po, der das vielleicht Werbung für Oreo macht, das alles wirklich Sinn. Kriegt keiner vernünftige Werbung hin.
So, dann jetzt nochmal. Danke, Terra, und danke, Ice-T7. Fühlt euch willkommen. Servus. Ist ein bisschen laut. Das müssen wir irgendwann mal umstellen, sonst kann ich ja die ganze Zeit währenddessen noch.
Muss währenddessen ja auch nicht labern.
Ja.
Das muss in die Fresse halten, so gesehen.
Aber 20 Sekunden.
Was 20 Sekunden?
Lass gut sein.
Wirst du aber schaffen, 20 Sekunden die Klappe zu halten.
Nein.
Doch. Wenn das halt dreimal hintereinander ist, hält es halt eine Minute lang die Klappe.
But for us, it's having a culture in the room in the studio that there's a real open criticism of every line of dialogue, every beat of the story, making sure that what we're doing is as authentic as we can make it. Tell us about writing a prequel. It must be an interesting challenge for a writer, because if you're writing a sequel,
Die zeigen aber ganz schön lang, wie die raucht. Ach, die zeigen jetzt nur nochmal alles, nochmal doppelt.
Yeah, so I think there are pros and cons to it for sure. Pros, pun intended. Pros and yeah.
Bin ich in den OBS.
So
ich hab's gerade gesehen. Ich guck die ganze Zeit über OBS. Good luck, Senores.
That's a gift. That's really fun.
Du willst den neuen Follow-Sound nicht sehen, Seni.
Wenn er überhaupt zum Einsatz kommt heute.
Das wird er ganz bestimmt. Ich meine auch Follow-on, immer eben.
Am besten nicht.
They're not going to know where it's going to go, because this isn't the story of Rachel Amber's disappearance. It's a different story. It's a mystery.
Willst du mal sehen, Seni?
Nee.
Sicher.
It has to do with what it's like for Chloe when she meets Rachel.
Luca, bitte.
And why
was denn?
Rachel, the seemingly perfect
Was machen wir gerade? Dumm Geschwätze oder das?
Ja, aber alles. Das ist kein React, wenn wir nicht währenddessen reden.
Ja, will mal über was anderes reacten.
Nö, wenn er sowieso nicht die ganze Zeit nicht über React ist, dann bringt das so oder so nichts.
Ja, wie gesagt, ich kann dazu nichts sagen zu dem Spiel.
Das ist schön.
Das war's, es ist schön.
Eine schöne Story. Ich will jetzt auch nichts spoilern.
Täusch doch, ist schön.
We released some gameplay footage at Chloe's house, where we see a text from a character named Steph, who's an all-new character for Before the Storm. She's in Chloe's grade. She's one of my favorite characters. I don't want to spoil too much about her, but she plays a pretty significant role in the story as well.
This is going to be a weird question, but
awesome.
if I was in your shoes, I would totally do this. Did you read a bunch of the Life is Strange fan fiction that was created after the game was released?
We read some,
right?
For sure, yeah.
Because, I mean, these sort of headcanons just have exploded because the first game was so resonated with so many people.
Yeah.
And I just, for me, I would have gone straight into the forums and be reading the fan fiction. I mean, has that influenced anything at all?
Yeah, I don't want to call out any one writer necessarily. I think all of from within the community, right? All of the writers at Deck 9 have obsessed in different ways about different sort of sources to bring to bear in crafting a story. So I know some writers have gone a little bit deeper into that world than others. For me, it was about kind of on a more somber note, reading a lot of grief memoir,
right?
To get a sort of first-person account of people's losses and how they've processed that and how they've kind of lived with losing loved ones.
Alle auf, nächstes Spiel.
Time travel in this game.
Nächstes Game ist
Jetzt seh's! Peter Pulli, danke für den Follow. Danke für den Follow.
Finde ich gut.
Doch, der ist gut.
Ich hab mir also als Hauptteil gerade reingemacht, jetzt muss ich einfach die Bilder wieder ändern. Moment.
It's not quite Twin Peaks, though.
No, it's close.
Okay, trying. Wofür brauchst du eigentlich den Link, Seni? Was für einen Link meinst du im Discord, den du brauchst? Von mir?
Für den Cinevision Song Contest.
Welchen davon?
Wer mitmacht?
Every single second of episode 1. I really can't wait to listen to the fan community, hear them, get to put the game in their hands and just see what they think, see what they feel.
Is the, I mean,
der raucht aber schon wieder, Seni, ist auch nicht gut,
playing the original Life is Strange, the romantic angle was,
ja, ist schon das dritte Mal, wo es vorbeiläuft. Das Rauchen.
What is it like in Life is Strange? Is it before the storm? Is it more accessible?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. We're deliberately exploring Chloe and Rachel's relationship. There are a lot of really strong opinions about what that relationship means. I think the content in the first game is very clear that the relationship was significant, incredibly strong for Chloe. The details, whether or not it was
nicht rauche.
In my opinion, it is deliberately.
Rauche ist nicht gesund, liebe Kinder.
Before the storm is the opportunity for the player to explore a romantic relationship with Rachel and what that might mean.
Jetzt zeigen sie es schon zum 4. Mal.
Das ist doch schön, ne?
Ja, die sollen am besten einfach mal andere spielen in der Zwischenzeit. Können sie ja aber zu Dragon Ball oder so irgendwie hin. Was kommt denn jetzt wieder? Achso, der Link, dankeschön.
Sind aber erst 2 Leute angemeldet.
Ja.
The 25th anniversary edition.
Der Drache wieder Red Bunny bekommt, lasse ich ihn nicht weiter.
Okay. Forthcoming.
I'm just trying to think how long are people going to have to wait to.
Hopefully not too long.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
And all the episodes are about the same length. It's what did
That's
you?
Right. So
they're about 4 hours.
Oh, ich hab schon 50k.
Right. Cool.
That's right.
And yeah, I mean, I'm also really interested. You know, we've seen the mill, we've seen some of Blackwell. We go back to Blackwell.
Yep.
I mean, what other kind of environments and spaces are you exploring in Chloe's teenage world?
Also das Spiel ist überhaupt nicht meins.
Her house.
Weil, wenn du das halt nur so siehst, sieht das halt auch langweilig aus, weil die halt nichts macht.
Die macht auch nichts, sie sitzt dumm rum, raucht einmal, fährt mit dem Auto, geht dann zu der Senioren, singe Hits.
Du hast Walk on the Stage, was macht sie? Sie sitzt auf der Stage.
Jetzt sitzt sie auf der Kiste.
Appelt in der Kiste. Und wir ficken in der Kiste.
Bestimmt wurde sie schwanger, ja, ich glaub's auch.
What the fuck?
Before the storm. I mean, hey, you must have done it. You must have been like.
Hat aber einen dünner Bauch für das, dass er schwanger ist.
Die ist erst in der ersten Woche, Seni.
Ach so. Nein, jetzt versucht sie halt zu gucken, wie es der Eltern erklärt bestimmt. Deswegen macht die so.
Alright, Zach, thank you so much for coming back to the IGN stage.
Ja, Dario ist der Vater.
Before the Storm, episode 1 is out very soon, August 31st.
Das ist mir egal.
Look forward to it. Thank you. Stay tuned, more to come from IGN live at Gamescom. Coming up next.
Das ist aber schön. Endlich was anderes.
IGN Live at Gamescom 2017.
Das sagt er nur Dario, weil er die Mutter sein will.
Available now. And Destiny 2. Pre-purchase exclusively on Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access.
Na, gucken wir mal, was das ist.
Du ruiniert ja alles.
Ich glaub's auch.
The storm came. The
Ach
monsters
du
followed.
Scheiße.
Now it's
Ach
time
du
to fight
Scheiße,
back.
Das wird nix. Das ist ruhiger, Seni, weißt du? 2.0, Fortnite 2.0.
Purchase Destiny 2 exclusively at Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access.
Echt, am 29. kommt die Open?
Ja.
Kann ich ja sogar mit euch noch vermitteln. Wartet ihr an dem Tag dann aber auf mich?
Jo.
An dem 29. Weil obwohl ich halt am 28.
Ich muss es dann eh erstmal runterladen.
Ja, aber das hast du schnell fertig, Seni. Du hast es innerhalb von einer halben Stunde runtergeladen.
Kriegen wir
20
hin.
GB sind.
Warten wir es erstmal ab. Du Scheiße, was ist denn das?
Ja.
Playing with people's lives, okay.
This game came together as a result of many interests and passions of the people who came together.
Och, jetzt geht der wieder ab. Der Xanator schreibt mich jetzt wieder an.
Was soll der Maul halten?
Was wär, hätt ich einen Lutscher am Po, der das vielleicht Werbung für Oreo macht, das alles wirklich Sinn, kriegt keiner vernünftige Werbung hin.
Alien Girl, Dankeschön für den Follow, fühl dich willkommen, servus, servus.
Alien Girl, oh egal.
Da steht Girl.
Ja, Girl heißt das.
Bei mir steht da Girl.
Ja, Girl.
Dann heißt es Girl.
Hey, Girl. Was wird mir das Girl heißt?
Girl.
So ein Scheißspiel, Alter.
Wieso Scheißspiel? Hast du noch gar nichts gesehen?
Doch, ich hab's mir gerade auf Steam angeguckt. Kommt am 29. September raus.
Da fliegt er.
Ist Master X Master.
Everyone for themselves. So the helmet was like we were thinking maybe some projection mapping.
Was für ein was für ein Delay hast du gerade, Seni?
Keine Ahnung.
Er guckt nach.
Ein Arsch mit Süßigkeiten. Nee, ich guck jetzt gerade gar nichts. Ab 18 bestimmt wird er wieder blutig.
Pass mal auf. Verpasst da Videoanruf, Ranel.
And all that you see is just this, this message, kill boss, kill boss.
Yeah.
But later on, somebody else is using this interface to connect with you and to kind of guide you through what's happened and, what you should do to kind of discover the truth and, take revenge.
Jetzt spielt er Fußball.
I'm really digging nature.
Ah, doch nicht.
It's very quick and snappy.
Yeah.
It's got this kind of Hotline Miami aesthetic, but the way the character moves is completely different.
Okay, ist auch nicht so mein Spiel. Ich bleib bei Diablo.
Here, if you don't make the first move, they will make the first move and take advantage of your sloppiness. So, and the Hotline Miami reference might be true to an extent, but then it gets the game is really different. You have many skills, abilities that you can upgrade. Like you have 13 abilities.
Anel ruft mir aber die ganze Zeit auf dem Handy an. Weißt du wieso?
Er will Live-Schaltung von der Gamescom machen.
Nein, er hat Video, der macht sogar Videoanruf.
Ja eben.
But you can also unlock the abilities that enable you to manage your combat space, like kinetic barriers that slow.
Da will dir vielleicht was zeigen, keine Ahnung.
With which you can hack your enemies.
Ich hab geschrieben, ruf mal Seni an.
Der hat meine Nummer nicht.
Doch, der ist mit dir in der Gruppe.
Oh.
Yeah, totally. And
Stimmt.
The fun thing is that you are not stuck with.
Der ruft mich sogar wirklich an.
Nimm mal an, Seni.
Reshuffle your skill points, create
Komm auf laut.
totally different build, and just go ahead with it and try how it works for you.
It's very.
Ja, was gibt's denn? Hallo. Was gibt's denn? Was?
Einfach nur so.
Ach so. Ah. Da hinten ist der Gara.
Knapp über 2 Stunden.
Okay.
Und dann sind wir endlich da.
Der denkt dran, beim Dragon Ball Stand zu gucken, ne?
Ja, das mache ich.
Gut.
Luca wird's mir ja auch bestimmt sagen, der ist ja da.
Na, der hat ja... Obwohl, doch, stimmt, ja, der kommt ja am Donnerstag auch hin, hast recht. Hast ja recht.
Ja, mal gucken. Ja, und dann guck ich mal, vielleicht ist Destiny da. Destiny 2.
Das könnte sein, ja.
Und wahrscheinlich nur das gleiche wie in der Beta.
Ich habe da was gehört gehabt, dass wir aus der Reformation zusätzlichen Sachen weggeben.
Das kann sein. Kenne ich mich nicht aus.
Wir sollen ja was mitbringen. Obwohl, ne, ich bin ja morgen selbst.
Ja, Wissel beim Dragon Ball Stand war gemeint. Entschuldigung, das Stream nebenbei, Ranne.
Ach so.
Deswegen nicht wundern.
Jetzt hat sie sagen, deswegen wollte ich, dass du ihn anrufst.
Ich soll ja vom Lukas sagen, deswegen wollte er, dass du mich anrufst.
Ach so. Ich habe Luca probiert, deswegen.
Ja, ja. Hat er mir schon gesagt.
Was streamst du?
Oh, die Gamescom. Der guckt da dumm, wer guckt? Alles gut. Regnet's bei euch? Nee.
Überhaupt nicht. Wir hatten mal ganz kurz, dass es geregnet hat unterwegs, aber hier überhaupt nicht.
Oh, geht doch. Dann ist doch gut.
Ja, bis auf zweimal Stau. Nee, einmal Stau. Ansonsten ging das alles.
Na, alle.
Dann stream nur mal weiter.
Jo, mach's gut, bis später oder so. Kannst du nochmal melden? Alla, bis dann. Tschö. So, ruft er mich auch mit der Kamera her.
Ich weiß, hat er bei mir auch.
Und der Kararine angehockt hat gewunken.
Hat er?
Ja.
Hat er Hallo gesagt?
Ja.
Hallo.
Er soll gerade streamen.
Soll er Winke machen, weißt du?
Aber ja, Wissel, ich selbst war ja auch schon Dragon Ball am Spielen. Nur nicht bei der Gamescom, ich war da in Mannheim. Ich wurde da eingeladen. Würde aber halt gern die Beta wieder mitspielen, weil es ziemlich cool war.
You upgrade the character.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So now, like, obviously, Cyberpunk there's a huge, like, sort of resurgence for it. I mean, some would say it never really went away. We are getting a new Blade Runner movie. What were some of your influences in?
Ich glaube, bei ihm stand sogar was mit Datenvolumen fast leer oder so.
Am
Rande.
Der ist wahrscheinlich die ganze Fahrt einfach nur am Handy.
And so we still get comments like, there's not enough blue or purple color, only red, so it's not Cyberpunk. Well, it's not Cyberpunk, it's a game that we did, you know, from what we thought is the coolest thing ever. And it turned out kind of cyberpunkish because we all loved Ghost in the Shell, the original, I mean.
Sure.
War ein dummes Game.
Ja, meins ist es auch nicht. Von daher war es okay, dass der Ranel angerufen hat.
Gara, ruf du auch nochmal an bei Seni, zur Ablenkung.
Nein.
Ich möchte auch mal mit dir reden. Kommt auch gar nicht doof, wenn du von hinten einfach einmal anrufst, so wenn vorher von vorne der Ranel angerufen hat. Kommt nicht doof. Ich muss mal überlegen, was ich von deinen ganzen Spielen spiele, Seni. Ich will aber nicht mehr DMC installieren, aber ich hab's halt schon mal durchgehabt. Nochmal Devil May Cry? Nee. Wenn, dann spiele ich nur den Virgil-Teil. Der war geil. Hast du den gespielt?
Ich kann gerade nichts hören.
Hallo?
Ja. Donovan, danke für den Follow. Fühl willkommen. Oh Gott, jetzt geht's nächste.
Da war wieder mit dem Karate.
Nein, mit der Flöte. Mit dem Ho.
Achso.
Flexau, danke für den Follow. Fühl dich auch willkommen. Junge, dein Ding ist zu laut. Jaxanator, ich weiß. Also Sven. Alles gut.
Was ist zu laut?
Der Follower-Sound, das ist normal.
Wo ist der Sven? Auf YouTube?
Nee, bei Steam hat er geschrieben.
Achso, sonst hätte ich ihn jetzt gebannt. Schade.
Guck mal, wie frech der wird. Bannt einfach die Leute. Ohne Grund.
Yeah, like what's their motivation? They just want to kill
this guy. Falschen Account drauf,
Well, here, like, you know, here he just broke into the Heaven Corporation. So they are out there to stop him because if they don't, you know, he will just.
Guck mal, wie bei YouTube zuguckt, Teilnehmer. Schade. Wenn sie nicht Sucher LP kann ich ja leider nicht bannen.
So you are hacked to do this. Like it's not your idea, but you're hacked. Whenever
Der nächste. Hey GDGEG oder so. Danke für den Follow und willkommen. Jetzt kommt das Kung Fu Fighting. Dankeschön für den Follow.
First you're tracking the guy who hacked you, and to get him you had to fight the gangsters who are protecting him. So then after you hack him, you get the idea, because they also not just hacked you but also took your brother to make sure you killed the boss.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
The sort of motivation of the
Aber das Game ist echt nicht toll.
He is rescuing.
Ja, das Game ist richtig hässlich.
Yeah.
Ja, vielleicht ist nett, aber ist nicht meins.
Well, I cannot tell you that because I
ist das hässlich. Weißt du, an wen mich das erinnert?
An dich?
Nee, an deine Mama.
Oh, der ist aber schlecht jetzt.
Soll doch nicht richtig gut
Die
sein.
Mutterwitze kommen jetzt. Oh.
Über Five Nights at Freddy's spielen, Seni?
It's interesting to hear what the players have to say about the character, because this is really inspiring, that because we didn't give him a face and emotions, just the basic brutality, and he's just a guy who's running and he's good at killing. So you can see him as a psycho.
Beruhig dich.
You can see him as this, you know, like lonesome cowboy, or you know, a knight who is lost in the world. It's not really up to us to decide, you know, because you're the player and you play the game and you feel the game and you're kind of like making this guy who you want him to be or who you feel him to be.
I really like that, and I like that you designed a character that can be sort of like this lonesome guy on this like hero's journey, or he can just be a brutal murderer that just is out there because it's fun.
Dann kommt eigentlich das nächste Spiel. Müsste jetzt um 17 Uhr kommen, glaube ich.
Das kommt.
Eine Lutscher am Po.
Voll. Vom Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Werbung für Oreo macht das alles. Kriegt keiner vernünftige Werbung hin.
Sag Bescheid, wenn ich kann ich jetzt?
Ja.
Also, als nächstes kommt Kingdom Come Deliverance. Eine Stunde später Final Fantasy 15. Um halb kommt The City of Final Fantasy. Um 45 Paladins Global Series. Um 9 Uhr, also um 18 Uhr kommt Wolfenstein. Um 18:15 Uhr kommt Lego Marvel Heroes 2. Um 18:30 Uhr kommt Ni no Kuni 2. Um 18:45 Uhr kommt Dragon Ball Fighter Z und dann das Ende.
Sehr schön, dann passt es.
It's like kind of, we're at this point where you see the Devolver Digital logo in the corner of something, and it's like reassuring. It's sort of like seeing,
Luca, beruhig dich.
You know, like in the 90s, you would see labels when you're like growing up listening to music.
Ich bin der ruhigste Typ, den du kennst.
This game, then they're also making this game. Like there's sort of like this like kind of hip.
Jemand, der ruhiger ist als ich, Seni.
Almost, I would use to describe their aesthetic. Like, what's it been like working with Devolver? Can you just sort of pitch anything and anything goes?
Well, no, Devolver is great in that they gave.
Naja, 4 Minuten, dann haben wir es überstanden. Mit dem Spiel.
Glaubst du?
Da kommt das nächste. Ist halt leider nicht meins.
Ich schenke dir, nur damit du es spielst.
Okay, dann würde ich sogar spielen.
Weißt du, was für Spiele du auch nicht mehr spielst?
Welche?
So was wie Ukulele.
Das habe ich auch durch.
Ganz?
Ja.
Glaube ich nicht.
Ja, dann guck mal.
100% oder was?
Ja, 100% nicht.
Also hast du doch nicht durch, dann los.
This that map we just saw for a second there looked fantastic. There's a lot of sort of the way we're seeing different aesthetics come together. Like here you have hand-drawn like character poses, bringing together cutscenes. How did all that together? Are you working with a bunch of different artists?
No, actually all the handmade art is Benedict Schneider, our creative director. And the environment team is basically 2 people with the support of the FX animation and technical artists, but they are 2 guys who are putting it all together. So yeah, but you know, we wanted to
geht's wieder los. Tuna Sad, danke für den Follow. Vielen Dank, fühl dich willkommen.
Ist doch gut, oder nicht?
Ja. If you're English, thank you.
Awesome. Congrats on making such an awesome looking, violent as hell game. I can't wait to play it. Ruiner is out September 26th for PC, Xbox One, and PS4. Magda, thank you so much. We'll be covering games all week long right here for Gamescom at IGN, so stick around.
IGN Live at Gamescom 2017 is presented by Fortnite, available now, and Destiny 2. Pre-purchase exclusively on Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access.
If you're out there, we need your help. The storm came, the monsters followed. Now, it's time to fight back.
Aber in jeder Werbung kommt Fortnite drin vor, ne? Oder Destiny.
Ja, kommen beiden. Die werden auch von den beiden Games gesponsert. Die Show da. Auch aus dem PK-Monitor sehen die.
Black. Da haben wir noch Glück. Es gibt Leute, die haben 500 Zuschauer und da schreiben gerade mal 3.
Pre-purchase Destiny 2 exclusively at Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access.
Da kann man vom Glück reden. Vor allen Dingen, es gibt ja auch nicht immer was zu schreiben. Ich kann jetzt auch nicht zu jedem was sagen. Aber erstmal Servus.
Moin moin. Ich bin der Tamsen. Moin moin.
Der Busfahrer.
Ja, auf jeden Fall. Wenn nicht der, wer sonst?
Ja, es sah gut aus, ja.
Was denn?
Star Wars Battlefront.
Welcome back to IGN Live from Gamescom. It's time to take another look at Kingdom Come Deliverance. I'm here with Toby, who brought the game by our E3 booth a couple months ago, and he showed us an early look at the game in like the first town area, I think.
Exactly.
And then today you're going to give us a little bit more of a look into the combat. Is that right?
Of course, yes. Let's fight a little bit. Let's
Yeah.
see how the medieval knights actually fought.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because like you said, this is the whole idea behind this game is you're trying to
So
make
schlecht sieht das doch gar nicht aus, dieses Kingdom Come.
RPG.
Doch.
Nö.
Das sieht mega scheiße
Das ist halt ein RPG-Spiel. Finde ich akzeptabel. Nö.
Show a realistic medieval game, an RPG that
Das ist Alpha-Status.
has no magic and dragons, but real medieval fencing, which is called actually HEMA. But yeah, so we try to have cool sword fighting, things that actually really happened back then. So real moves, you can attack the head, you can do combos like a little bit like Tekken, so left, right, up, and then you throw him on the ground. So it's very, very tricky.
Du hast außerdem gar keine Half-Life 2.
Ich hab es halt nicht.
The hardness, the
Ist mir halt
difficulty,
aufgefallen.
but still, well, it's an RPG, so you can get better, you can level up, it will help you somehow.
Also ich finde es
but
okay,
you
das sieht
always
ganz gut aus.
need that personal skill, because
Will
if
ich
you
nicht spielen.
screw up, you can
Nicht, weil es Singleplayer ist.
Was wär, hätt ich eine Lutscher am Po, der das vielleicht Werbung für Oreo macht, das alles wirklich Sinn, kriegt keiner vernünftige Werbung hin.
Vielen, vielen Dank, Mango, und fühl dich willkommen. Danke für den Follow.
Rise in the ranks, but you will always stay a soldier. So we want to make it realistic, so we will never become a king, but you will get involved into a civil war, you will get dragged into this
Jetzt siehst du, jetzt spielen die schon da Civil War, weißt du?
fencing schools where you have to train with different trainers. You will then have to, well, encounter bandits, or they will encounter you, so you have to fight back. But what's also very important is, and that's the cool part actually, that there will be castle sieges, there will
Ja, es tut mir leid, dass es ein bisschen laut ist.
like with several people against each other. You can.
Bin ich auch laut oder bin ich leise?
Nee, du nicht. Das liegt am Follower-Sound, der gemeint ist. Ich kann aber gern ein bisschen den Stream lauter machen, wenn ihr wollt. Dann müsst ihr es nicht so leise machen. Nicht so laut machen.
But yeah, so that's something you will be able to encounter.
So you're doing a few things that are unusual. Not only it's a historically accurate RPG, but also you don't see too many first-person melee games. That's still a little unique.
Yes. We thought that we want.
Ja, hast schon recht. Bin ich aber so leise vom Mikrofon eingestellt? Ich kann mich auch gerne nochmal lauter machen.
Historical or the story that really happened. Your personal story is fictional, but
kein Thema.
The story you are living through or the game you are playing through, these things really happened. Most of the NPCs really live. However, we decided to make it first person only to like really throw you inside this medieval world, and we try to like make the game as awesome looking as possible, like put up the graphics high.
Grafik ist doch gar nicht so schlimm. Oh, warum hast du denn jetzt aufgehört? Hat dich aufgehangen?
Really give you the feeling that I am now Henry, that's the one you're playing. I am Henry, I grab that sword and I have to survive against this
das Spiel lauter. Dann Moment.
Some things different, so our combat system is so hard that you really have to focus in every combat because it could be your last.
Yeah. So tell us about the little star icon on the enemy.
Besser.
I assume that represents his limbs and head. Or?
Kind of, yes. Okay. That's when you log into it. You can always unlock. So for those who
triggered
it's a lock for if you want to fight with someone. We need that because you are able to do the different combos. And the star system represents the different angles of attack where you can like aim for his head, for the shoulders, or for the bottom parts. And if you with the I prefer to play on the controller, but it's or a mouse, whatever. But I like the controller. So with the right bumper stick, you can choose from where you want to attack. So if you, for example, want to attack the head, you just move up and then you can attack the head. This makes sense because we have something we call physical collision model. So if you see that the opponent has no helmet, attack his head because you will then kill him eventually in one hit. However, if he has full
man merkt direkt, dass das ein Deutscher ist, der da redet.
Scissor system. If he has full plate armor, you cannot penetrate it with a sword. So you need to a little bit see and observe what's happening there. And the opponent does the same. So if you have like a weak spot, like no helmet, for example, he will also try to aim for your head.
Interesting. Now, to my eye, the animations look very realistic. Is that something you put a lot of time into?
Yes, exactly. We invited historians. Well, in the beginning we thought it's enough to just talk to them, but then we realized that we had to hire a historian to our team to help us to recreate the stuff. But we also invited people who are doing medieval fencing. So they told us how the medieval fencing in the 15th century looked like. We told them why this is not possible for
ja,
video
merkt
game.
man halt wirklich
Together,
direkt Blick.
We created a compromise and make it as realistic as possible.
Wenn ein Deutscher Englisch
the
spricht.
reasons are obvious. The fighter wants to be as unpredictable as possible, so there's almost no moves and one blow and then he's dead, the opponent. But
ja, es geht darum, die Leute, wo da halt das so richtig professionell können.
Moves where you see what the opponent is doing.
Wenn ihr professionell können, hörst du das auch nicht raus.
Natürlich.
Ich
würde das erkennen.
But if you do have real sword training, will that be beneficial to you here?
Professioneller Sprecher kannst du nicht raushören.
Yes and no. I mean, like you can at least see what kind of combos they are doing because
there's
a book which is called Talhofer, and this book is one of the earliest, or maybe the earliest, like representation of medieval fencing. It was a book only painted there, so there were different paintings of fighting styles, and we took this book and recreated those combos. So these combos are actually something that
es ist halt wirklich wie For Honor, ne? For Honor, Entschuldigung, nicht For Honor.
So yeah, there was a little green shield in the middle for those who spotted this, because attacking is not always the best option. We can also block, of course, which makes sense, but this small green shield, it's there for like a millisecond or so. We just saw it. It gives you a time slot or a window for a perfect block. And if you are really quick, you will even be able to do a riposte or like a counter attack. So you block it and immediately slash back. So you have this back and forth, which is pretty cool. And now we are fighting a guy with a full plate armor, and this is of course way harder because he's pretty much a medieval tank.
Are you able to knock the armor off of him?
Yes and no. You can destroy it if you like really attack the head a lot, for example. Then it will eventually crack, and then it will make more damage. But again, we have.
Ich hätte gern so ein MMO in dem Style von For Honor.
use a sword against full plate armor, use a mace.
Mit Wikinger und so halt als, wie nennt man denn, nicht Rasse, halt Fraktion, sagen wir mal.
Yes, well, I personally,
das wäre richtig geil.
Aggressive type in this in our game, so I prefer the 1.5 sword, so like really with two-handed sword fighting. However, of course, if you're more defensive, use the shield, which is good for, well, the blocks are then way easier, but since you have a short sword, then it's like you have the distance to your opponent is much shorter, and then they can get you as well.
Also ein Online-Spiel meine ich, ne? Nicht jetzt halt MMO in dem Sinne.
Try to find someone who helps you, because he's like super far away, and this will be very hard to get into a melee fight with him.
Would you say there's a large variety of weapons in the game?
Well, definitely we try to recreate or bring all the medieval weapons that were common back then. The only the only one we will not bring are chain weapons, like Morningstar and stuff, because just, well, technical reasons, since we have this collision model and we would have those animations when the stars would bounce back from the opponent, you would hit yourself and these kind of struggles. So we just for this time, we'll see maybe what the future brings. And these are some of the brawls. This is actually a smaller brawl. This is taken from a quest called Raubritter, which is like a bad knight who started to raid the country, or to the countryside, and that's very important. This quest this brawl only, skirmish only happens because the player, or me who was recording it, wanted it to happen. What I mean is that this quest can also be solved in a peaceful way. Fighting is a huge thing in the game, but it's not. The game is not about fighting per se. It's just something you can. It's an RPG. So if you want to fight, grab your sword and make those fights happen. However, if you would go there earlier, you could try to use your diplomatic skills and say, "Hey, listen, we are going to come tomorrow. We will going to kill you," and he would say, "Okay, well then I'm going to leave." And this will have a different outcome later in the story, because you've got this quest from a higher lord, and he will then be very angry that you send away the thieves, and so on and so on. So everything you do, or in general, we give you a quest in Kingdom Come, like kill or find the bandit lord, and how you get there and what you actually do with him is then up to you. So it's really like an RPG system that asks you what you want to do, and we don't grab you by the hand and drag you through the game.
Are we seeing an example of that here? Because it looks like we're restarting
the skirmish. I'm restarting. I was restarting the skirmish to show that you can do different stuff here. However, I'm only showing this particular quest line, or this quest path here, where this skirmish actually is going to happen. But as I said earlier, you can grab different weapons, you can do different stuff here. There's on the left, you can barely see it, but we will eventually see it in a second. There are archers on the top, so if you decide to not go to in the fight in the first row, you can go up to the mountain and try to.
Genau so würde ich mich auch anhören. Ich würde mich auch die ganze Zeit versprechen.
Or, and that's also pretty interesting and maybe a little bit cowardly, you can just observe and wait what's happening, because this skirmish does not have to you don't have to necessarily win this skirmish to continue in the game. What I mean is that if
wird auch ein bisschen nervös sein.
In the front, if he's calling for retreat, then your soldiers will run away. Right, and then you're still there alone on the battlefield.
Ja,
so
merkt man.
Run with them, and then you kinda lost the quest, but it will continue somehow. Or, but he survived. But he survived.
All right, he's fine, everybody. He's gonna be okay.
He had a very good breakfast. However, if you stay on the battleground then, and your army run away, your guys are running away, and you stay on the battleground, then you can try.
CGL, danke für den Follow.
Can go there,
Fühl dich willkommen.
Sneaky stuff and poison their food, so you don't have to fight at all. Just
Dieser Sound, ey.
That's the archer spot I was telling you. I missed the first shot. However, they are talking right now. The first moment I hit someone.
Was hätt ich? Eine Lutscher am Po, der das vielleicht Werbung für Oreo macht, das alles wirklich Sinn. Keiner vernünftige Werbung hin.
Niklas Demer, auch dir, vielen Dank für den Follow, fühl dich auch willkommen. Dankeschön. So, was wolltest du sagen? Irgendwas mit Toveli, oder?
Was?
Was wolltest du sagen?
Nichts mit Toveli.
Dann sag's nur mal bitte.
Ich habe keine Ahnung mehr, was ich sagen wollte.
Achso, das der andere. Du hast ihn reingemacht.
But this will be super cool. And
ach, der Follow-Sound, ich dachte der Typ da.
Nee, der Follower, um den ging's.
It's not like you say, I'm now going to conquer this castle. Everything is story, like part of the story. So you cannot just say, I'm going to raid this Stood Farm where I'm going to attack this castle. Everything is connected to the story, to the main storyline. However, you can of course branch away and do side quests and
ja, mir wurde das auch angeboten, dass ich mal so eine Presseding, so einen Pressetag davor spreche und Ding, aber ich habe mich da nicht getraut. Ich kann da nicht so gut Englisch sprechen für.
Was machst?
Ich war mal früher in so einer Streaming-Teil. Da war eine ganze Gruppe von Streamern drin. Und da war halt dann auch Tag der Gamescom, blablabla, da konnten dann ein paar Leute mit, die gut Englisch können einigermaßen. Aber ich habe mich da nicht getraut hinzugehen.
So you have your Valentine's Day presents. However, it's exactly
machen oder wärst vielleicht ein großer Streamer inzwischen?
Aber
einer, der vielleicht die ganze Zeit gestottert hat, wenn ich mit jemandem gesprochen hätte da.
This is really a thing. Kingdom Come is going to come very soon, and the biggest excitement for us, for me right now, is not only that I'm sitting next to you, but that we have a huge booth in the public hall. So for the fans who want to play and try the game, they can come to our booth in Hall 9, and together with our partners from Deep Silver, we created some really cool stuff and merch. So come for merch. And yeah, so this is really happening, and we are really excited.
Ja, der ist nervös.
Show it to the world.
Toby, thank you so much for coming.
Aber er scheint korrekt zu sein als Person.
That is Kingdom Come Deliverance. Stay tuned, more to come from IGN Live here at Gamescom after this.
So, was kommt nun?
IGN Live at Gamescom 2017 is presented by Fortnite, available now. And
Dann
Destiny 2,
ne?
pre-purchase exclusively on Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access.
Dann kommen jetzt zwei gute Spiele.
If you're out there, we need your help. The storm came, the monsters followed. Now, it's time to fight back.
Wahrscheinlich die PC-Version.
Nein, wahrscheinlich aber endlich, dass er 150 GB haben muss.
Ja.
Purchase Destiny 2 exclusively at Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access.
Ja, alles gut, Dario. Den hat ja keiner ausgelacht oder so, ist alles gut. Kann jeder verstehen.
Gamescom. Final Fantasy 15 is coming to PC.
Ja, PC-Version kommt jetzt, Achtung.
And Gavin will be translating for us today. Gentlemen, welcome to the IGN stage.
Hi. Thanks a lot. It's good to be here today.
So, tell us all about it. Final Fantasy 15 on PC.
まずはFinal Fantasy 15の PC 版について教えていただけますでしょうか。
はい、昨日ね発表させてもらったんですけれども、Windows ストアと、あと Origin と、Steam に向けて来年の前半に発売することになった、Windows エディションですね。
Okay, so this is the Windows edition of the game. We actually announced it yesterday, and it's going to be coming to Steam, to Origin, and to the Windows Store.
When? Steam, Origin, and Windows Store?
If you can sum it up really briefly, it's an incredibly beautiful, really great-looking Final Fantasy 15 game.
でまたマウスとキーボードでしっかりとその PC ゲーミングにしっかり対応しているというところが特徴。
One of the other main features of it is that it's completely optimized and customized to work as a PC game with a keyboard and mouse control scheme.
さらにファーストパーソンモードっていう、まあそこでも PC ゲーマーが好むような遊び方、それにちゃんと対応しているっていうところが昨日まで発表した内容ですね。
And in the other thing we announced in the announcement yesterday.
Also ich sehe noch keinen Unterschied zu der PlayStation 4 Grafik, Dario.
Which is obviously a mode that PC gamers are very familiar with and they look for.
Wirklich?
Klar, siehst du das.
You guys announced a release date?
その発売日は発表しました。
一応2018年前半。
It's early 2018.
Okay.
はい。で今回ね
Auch early 2018. Da kommt alles so early raus. Meine Güte.
例えばPC ゲームならではのいろんなそのもっと詳細な機能っていうものも検討してるんだけど、まあそれは秋までに
2018 wird schon am Anfang richtig böse von der Preise her für manche. 15 habe ich bisher nur als Werbung auf dem Tablet gesehen und die ist ziemlich enttäuschend, okay? Also ich fand das Spiel cool. Aber nochmal kaufen lohnt sich für mich halt nicht. Jetzt erkennt man mal ein bisschen Unterschied, ja.
And we released the console version last autumn winter kind of period, and we've been continuously upgrading and improving upon the game since then.
それは発売しておしまいではなくて、その後もゲームを改良することで長くファンの皆さんに遊んでもらうためにやってたんですが、そのずっと改良してきた内容がちゃんとこの PC バージョン、Windows エディションには入るし、あとは DLC も基本的には全部入れるつもりで今準備を進めてます。
So we did that in order to keep giving back to the fans who played the game and to make sure they can enjoy the game for as long as possible and have as much fun as possible. And all of those upgrades and updates will be included in the PC version as well, alongside all of the DLC that we will have released by then for the console versions.
Are you planning any specific DLC just for the Windows edition?
Allein bei der Katze siehst du, dass es anders ist.
これだけの DLC は何か予定されてるんですか？
今それは予定はしてないね。だけど Windows 版のみに入れようと思っている。
Katze sieht viel besser aus.
システムというか機能があるね。
I mean, there's no specific DLC we're planning just to add to the Windows version. There are a number of game features that we're only going to do for the PC version.
Diese Sachen, die kommen nur für PC raus, Seni.
Ja, ist okay.
And of course, that's one of those is mod support, is we're looking at.
Mod support.
Wie gesagt, es muss mich halt erst wieder umhauen, dass ich mal das hole. Für PC. Kommt? Wurde gesagt?
Ja, habt ihr gerade gesagt.
Dann wird es sich sogar lohnen.
I mean, one of the things about Final Fantasy 15 and the way the game is that every individual player is going to have their own journey, their own experience.
Mods sind immer gut.
I think that fits in very well with the idea of mods, so we really want to allow players of the PC version to be able to do that.
ただ結構仕様が複雑なので、もうちょっとしっかりと仕様を詰めて、それからこういう遊び方を提供しますよっていうのを改めて別の機会に言いたいなと思ってますね。
Of course, getting the specs and the technical side of that sorted out is actually quite complicated, so we're going to take a little bit more time to do that. But as soon as we finalize all of the full details of that, we'll get that information out to people.
Are there any unusual or crazy mods you would personally like to see added to the game?
個人的に見たいすごい変なすげえ面白いようなモッド何か想像できます？
Aber ich werde mir das direkt am Anfang holen, wenn es mal billiger ist.
I think if I started saying what I really thought, I'd get a lot of complaints coming into me, so I have to hold back on that.
でも言っちゃうけど一番見たいのはこの FF15 のパーティーが例えばマリオとか。
I mean, we'll maybe see the main party of guys here. See them as Mario and Link and Nintendo characters, maybe.
Yeah,
I'd love to see the party turn into something like that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, 見てみたいですね。
はい。っていうのがまあ昨日発表したこの。
Ja, das wäre geil, so eine ganze Gruppe aus Mario-Charakteren.
And that was the Windows edition that we announced yesterday. We also announced another new thing earlier on this morning.
Ja, und das ist jetzt der Schrott, den es gibt.
So the high-end, the top-quality version of the game is the Windows edition we were just talking about.
Und jetzt kommt die schlechteste Qualität.
じっくり遊ぶんじゃなくてサクサク遊ぶための FF15 っていうのをさっき紹
介
しました。
Weil jetzt das Handy kommt.
Completely different approach. It's a much more casual version of Final Fantasy 15. You can play much more quickly on the go, and that's this version.
Achso, ich dachte, die haben es noch, zeigen es auch noch.
We've got a video.
Ich glaube, dass das Handy rauskommt.
Ja, aber mit beschissener Grafik. Das sind Knetfiguren.
Ganz Final Fantasy 15 oder was?
Ja.
Wie groß soll das bitte sein? Welches Handy willst du dafür kaufen?
Keine Ahnung.
Yeah, no, I mean, what I want everyone
Es gibt einen Trailer.
What I want everyone to really pay attention to the Windows version, how advanced and how much better looking the graphics are on that version.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Mal gucken, ob sie es gleich zeigen.
Yeah, 今まで見てる一番美しいバージョンですよね。確かに。Really wow.
But you were just telling us, is it about the Pocket Edition?
今ポケット版。
Da ist er.
15.
Geile Grafik, hä? Minecraft.
This is the Pocket Edition.
Guck mal allein die Charaktere.
Yeah, so obviously it looks very different.
Dragon List.
Wenn es ganz Final Fantasy 15 ist?
Ist es. Das ist der Anfang.
Das ist scheißegal, dann soll die doch aussehen wie Knetfiguren. Wenn du das ganze Spiel kriegst, dann mal vielleicht am Ende nur 5 Euro.
I mean, I think obviously the gameplay device that most people will have closer to them at all times is going to be their smartphone. And the idea behind the Pocket Edition is you can just play casually and quickly whenever you've got the time.
Sieht zwar aus, als ob es gerade aus dem Haufen Scheiße gezogen wurde. Also bei einem platzen Code auf seine Tastatur geworfen hätte beim Programmieren. So sieht das aus.
Guck mal, so ist das Kampfsystem dann. Es geht aber, es ist nicht so schlecht.
Doch, das ist schlecht. Wenn ich da nicht sowas wie Warp-Strike machen kann, wie in dem anderen Spielen, ist das scheiße.
Ich find's okay.
Kurz mit ey. Du dir holst Streams, bitte.
ガツッとコンソールゲームなんか遊ばないっていう人たちにもおすすめなのがこのポケットエディションですね。
So I really recommend this console edition to people who are very busy.
Ja, 500 MB war schon klar, dass das oben drüber geht. Marlboro heißt das Vieh.
You can control everything with tapping on the touchscreen.
で敵をタップするとそいつにオートで攻撃してくれて、
Kommt sogar noch im August, im Herbst meine ich.
On them on the screen, you'll run over and attack them automatically. Then occasionally during combat, you'll get some icons appearing on the side of the screen which allow you to initiate a combo, a chain attack with them, and things like that.
It seems like you've included a lot of the main console game here. Driving, chocobo riding, combat. You still have the cooking in there.
Ja, 今の見るとですね、チョコボとか車とかバトルとかも全部入ってるようですけど、料理とかも入ってる。
Mit seinem Nicken die ganze Zeit.
The cooking's still in there, yes.
だけどすごくコンパクトに入ってる。
It's a very compact, very cut down version of the system.
なんかその海外旅行するときにフリーで旅行するか、パッケージのツアーで旅行するかみたいな違いが結構ある。
I suppose you could describe the difference there as if you go on holiday abroad, then you either go for the package or the self-catering, and this is more the package tour version.
Yeah, sure.
Das ist aber okay, wenn du es für 5 Euro kriegst.
And the pocket version is split into 10 different episodes. You can buy each of those individual episodes.
Oh,
10 verschiedene Episoden.
I think we should be able to get that released.
Einzeln kaufen.
Das wahrscheinlich alle 5 Euro.
Well, that is a look at
Dann hast du auch die 60 Euro wieder mit drin.
Ja, eben. The Windows Edition and the Pocket Edition, but they both look very cool. Thank you so much for coming by the IGN stage.
あ、そのシャイス。
今紹介したのは全部 FF15 のブースで遊べますので、ぜひゲームズコムの会場に来られる人は体験してください。
And all of these things that we showed today will be available to play on the Square Enix booth at Gamescom this year. So please, if you're coming to the Gamescom event, why not come along and try them out?
どうもありがとう。
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. But if you're not coming to Gamescom, then stay put. We will continue bringing all the hottest games of Gamescom to you right after this.
Jetzt kommt Ding, die Sidia. Da freue ich mich drauf.
Oh, scheiße.
Nein. Da freue ich mich drauf. Naruto wird heute nicht gezeigt, ne?
IGN Live at Gamescom 2017 is presented by Fortnite, available now, and Destiny 2. Pre-purchase exclusively on Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access. If you're out there, we need your help. The storm came, the monsters followed. Now, it's time to fight back.
Show them what Guardians are made of.
Das ist ja schon das beste PC-Game, auch von der E3, für von 2017.
Hold on back there.
Pre-purchase Destiny 2 exclusively at Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access.
Vielen, vielen Dank für den Follow. Den Namen kann ich jetzt leider nicht aussprechen. Bitte sei mal nicht böse.
Ja, Seni,
aber fühl dich willkommen.
Seni ist, jeder ist Seni böse, Mann.
Sea of Thieves ist cool.
Ahoy, mateys! Rory here and Daniel Blonde Hair. We've just been checking out Sea of Thieves.
Werden eigentlich US-Trailer gezeigt? Ja, ja, klar.
Yeah, we've been playing Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Nur jetzt halt in dem Teil hier nicht. Die werden wahrscheinlich eher auf YouTube hochgeladen.
My favorite thing was possibly getting fired from a cannon by one of my own shipmates into a shipwreck.
Well, I should say it was me. So we found a shipwreck and we saw it on the horizon and it was too far to swim. So we got in a cannon. I aimed it perfectly, perfect height, and landed you straight there. Fast travel.
It was impressive. The only problem was as soon as we showed up, as soon as you get to a shipwreck, obviously you want to start looking for treasure. Got to get that booty.
Yeah, so you've got to get the treasure, Rory.
Booty.
Yeah.
Got to get the booty.
Yeah, you're a pirate, I get it.
But then a shark showed up halfway through our adventure.
Yeah, well, you could. Well, the thing is, you were pointing it out to me because he was like really behind my back.
Right.
And then I shot him with a cannon in the face.
And it was quite sad. At the end of my capture, I was just kind of watching this adorable little shark just sink to the bottom.
You were mourning him. You were like guarding him to the depths.
It was quite sad. But, it's a fun game, and it seems like it's one where you kind of make your own adventure as you play.
It is absolutely that. We had like 5 different maps that we could choose from. We were looking at the big map on the ship, trying to match up islands, and then we were trying to find that treasure.
Das Spiel ist ganz cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to play a little bit more during the show. So that's it, I think, for a coverage.
Ich habe mich mal für die Beta angemeldet, mal gucken.
Game coverage all this week. Stay tuned right here to the mighty ship IGN. Daniel.
So, ja, melde mich einfach mal direkt mit an.
Where are we going?
Ich habe da E-Mail-Adresse nicht.
Das geht.
Aber das habe ich schon länger gemacht. Das war schon zur E3.
live at Gamescom. Brian and I are just hanging out with the team behind Dissidia Final Fantasy.
Das Insider-Programm ist das.
Cesar, danke für den Follow. Herzlich willkommen.
Thank you very much.
Also, du weißt es aber nur für Xbox ist, ne?
Die sieht ja nein.
Nein,
ja, aber auch für PC.
Die Beta war erstmal nur für Xbox.
Ja, konnte sich aber für beides anmelden.
Nein, du kannst sie immer noch da anmelden, aber nur für
Xbox? Ich habe mich damals für PC angemeldet. Ich konnte es sogar auswählen.
There are various meanings that we can answer towards what NT actually stands for, but the real main one is new tale. So, you know, the beginning of a new story.
Yeah, Van ist dabei.
We're used to that at IGN. We have
no Lightning. Braucht mir das.
That's actually true.
IGN,
Ich liebe dieses Game jetzt schon. 3 gegen 3, jawohl.
So this is a fighting game with Final Fantasy characters. It's actually an arcade game.
Das sieht doof aus.
Pokémon im Karton. Gong, 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 gong.
Gehen alle zu dritt auf dich, dann hast du verkackt.
Kongler, danke für den Follow.
Gehen alle 3 auf einmal auf dich, du hast verkackt.
Eben nett. Geht bei Dragon Ball genauso. Kawaii Desu, danke für den Follow.
Pokémon im Karton. Gong, 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 gong.
Truthmaker, danke auch für dich. Für dich, ja. Für den Follow.
Für dich. Danke auch für dich.
Danke auch für dich. Fühlt euch willkommen.
Ich bin der Seni und ich danke euch für dich.
Natürlich, Swix, das ist absichtlich so gemacht.
So a huge part of the city NT is the 3-verse-3 formation.
Das ist total beabsichtigt.
And we've seen that in the arcade version,
damit man nichts
and
hört.
that's also going to be in the PS4 version as well. The director Kujiroka-san is working on things, you know, to develop not just the 3-verse-3, but to bring in other things, other rules and other elements to the game. And one of them being the story.
Damit er mit Seni irgendwie nochmal die Klappe hält. Deswegen ist es so eingestellt.
Ja, damit der Luca nämlich jetzt so doofes Zeug dazwischen labert.
Kann ich ja immer noch, das ist das Schöne.
Nee, man hört dich nämlich nicht auch nicht. Nein.
You put money in, then you die. And then you put more money in, but on a
Bei
console
mir
you
ist
don't
es
really
Windows
have that.
Sound.
So how does that sort of...
Heißt es
Servus Jenny!
Heißt genauso laut wie der Stream.
アーケードにあたってバランス取ることなんですけれども、バトル
Ja, und der Follower zählt nur dazu.
お聞きしたいんですけれども、以前
Was?
アーケードっていうことは
Nicht der Follower Sound
Luca,
zählt
wir
nicht
müssen jetzt
dazu.
nicht diskutieren. Tschüss.
Der zählt nicht dazu, das ist das Schöne.
今回家庭コンソールに変えることにあたってそのバランスの取ること自体に教えていただけたらと思います。
そうですね。まあゲーム内容自体はアーケードと
So eine Heulsuse immer der Luca, ja.
まあお金入れなくても遊べるっていう一番でかい
Auf der PS4, okay.
So within the game itself, obviously there's pretty much that's exactly the same. The only difference is you don't have to put money in every single time.
Thank you.
I mean, some games are like that even today.
Seit wann hast du eine PS4? Ach ja, stimmt, ach ja. Du spielst ja auch Dragon Ball und so. Ja, auf der PS4.
I think there are four different character types: heavy, speed, shoot, and unique. Some of those are self-explanatory. What's the unique character type all about?
4つのキャラクターのタイプが確かあるかと思うんですけれども、そのスペシャリスト特別なタイプについて、それはどのようなタイプになるんですか？
そうですね。どのタイプにも属さない。
Wer meinst du ist ein Typ?
スペシャルなユニークな特徴。
Das erkennt Luca wieder nicht.
Das ist kein. Diesmal aber auf keinen Fall, Seni. Da kannst du lachen, wie du willst.
Leute, ganz rechts. Der Luca glaubt mir nie, dass das ein Typ war.
Diesmal auch keiner ist, weil bei der
Doch, das erkennt man.
Nein.
Doch, das erkennt man.
Nein.
So these characters really have the
wenn du jetzt wirklich nicht denkst, dass das ein...
Also
du tust mir leid.
Du hast doch schon an der Stimme.
Ja, eben.
So stark kannst du die Stimme nicht verstellen.
Selbst die Jenny lacht jetzt.
So they're really what we recommend for the kind of player that wants some individuality in their gameplay.
Servus Zuckerprofi, wie geht's dir? Ja, wenn der Luca jemand in der Bar anspricht und das ist dann ein Kerl, das wird er nicht merken. Erst wenn es dann im Bett zur Sache geht.
Ja, stimmt. Jetzt kriege ich die ins Bett. Irgendwas zu dir.
Der will ich gar nicht.
Wenigstens kriege ich überhaupt jemand ins Bett.
Oh.
Ich bin nicht zu hässlich dafür.
Da will ich mir mal Gedanken machen dann.
Mainly the difference in how I would recommend the character is whether you want to attack from far away or from close up. That's kind of one of the main things that would separate.
Glaubt mir halt nie.
But generally for a beginner, I would recommend Cloud.
Zidane ist cool, ich mag den. Chess-Tyraris, danke für den Follow. Ja, sogar die Form ist drin. Von Zidane. Das ist cool.
Das für eine Affenform ist.
Das ist der Super Saiyajin Rose.
Yes, that's right. So
das ist ein hässlicher Affe.
Ja, ach, das ist ja auch so ähnlich wie ein Saiyajin.
And that kind of becomes like almost
hässlicher Affe.
to their party.
Oh Mann.
And once summoned, it joins the party in battle and they play together, almost like 4 players. So
Pokémon im Karton. Gong, 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 gong. Pokémon.
Miss William, danke für den Follow.
What summon
Fühl
goes
dich
well with
willkommen.
your 3 characters and your playstyle as well.
So, on your 3-person team, who can use the summon, or can any of them use it?
3体組のチームに誰が召喚できるんですか?
Lass mir doch mal Pause. Das hat man gehört. Tio, ich glaube, es ist falsch ausgesprochen. Tio, danke für den Follow. Hanzo Main, danke für den Follow. Vielen Dank, dass ihr da seid. Fühlt euch willkommen.
And there's different ways of how you can summon the summons. You can have one player summon them or all 3.
Das Sound immer noch.
There's one on their own. But that depends on what strategy.
Ja, Luca hat ja. Ah, jetzt kommt der Viewbot, ja.
So we're seeing a lot of tunnel feature. How does the sort of how do the levels come
Hallo lieber Herr Viewbot. Oh Gott.
Eine Lutscher am Po.
Wer auch immer das ist.
Werbung für Oreo macht das alles wirklich Sinn. Kriegt keiner vernünftige Werbung hin.
Danke auch dir, Daniel.
Was
Nächster.
ich? Eine Lutscher am Po. Der das vielleicht Werbung für Oreo macht.
Ich glaube, das ist aber jetzt fake.
Alles wirklich Sinn. Kriegt keiner vernünftige Werbung hin.
Delia, auch dir, Dankeschön. Wie jetzt noch einer kommt, ist ein Troll. Ist ein Troll. Lankomatisch, danke für den Folge. Gott sei Dank ist da wenigstens Pause drin. Definitiv ist das ein Fake. Mir egal. Definitiv Fake. Definitiv Fake. Anime Parts, guck mal, so viele Leute sind gar nicht da.
Yeah, there are going to be, some more specialist stages that are going to come out, especially with the new N2 we're releasing, but we can't tell any more of that, and we're not going to spoil anything for the players.
Okay, gut. Danke für den Follow. Ich glaube, ich mach mal aus hier so.
Lass die drin, Alter.
Da hört man nur noch Musik.
Ist egal.
基本的にはもう全部のキャラクターステージが買ってその瞬間から遊べるようにはなっています。
Es kamen, glaube ich, die ganzen alten Follower wieder. Ach nein. Hilfe!
So from the beginning, all of the characters included are unlocked, but we are actually planning DLC, downloadable content, which you can pre-order already.
Kann mal bitte jemand... Ist aber nett. Und noch einmal bitte. Jawohl. Ah. Yes, ist aber drinnen nice. Der Vater von Tidus. Und noch einmal bitte.
Was wäre, hätte ich einen Lutscher am Po?
Das sind doch die Alten.
Werbung für Oreo macht das alles wirklich Sinn. Kriegt keiner vernünftige Werbung hin.
Wenn jetzt noch einer kommt, mach ich's aus. Das sind irgendwie die Alten. Jo. Das Ding hat nicht wieder aufgehört. Doch, Lady Scarlet ist auch schon alt. Doch.
Die sind alle drin. Bei Events in Real Time, Seni. Alle als neue.
Was? Wirklich?
Ja!
So fundamentally, all
Dann Dankeschön wiederum.
at the moment are in the NT, Dissidia NT, but the additional downloadable content thereafter, we will potentially change who's in and what's happening.
Ich sehe es ja jetzt.
Does Dissidia Final Fantasy NT have a release date?
Also ich meine, die Scarlet kenne ich. Jetzt hat sie aufgehört, gut. Jetzt habe ich was gesagt, jetzt kommt es gleich wieder. Ja, sag's doch. Ich bin wieder da. Ach, ich weiß, wer es ist. Der liebe gute Wambo, alle. Und wie geht's da, Wambo? Hast du gut geschlafen? Da wünsche ich dir jetzt viel Vergnügen, mein Freund.
IGN Live at Gamescom 2017 is presented by Fortnite, available now, and Destiny 2. Pre-purchase exclusively
der Wambo
on
erlebt
Blizzard
auch gerade seine finale Fantasie.
If you're out there, we need your help.
The storm came, the monsters followed. Now, it's time to fight back.
So, wieder gut, dass ich wieder Leute melden darf.
Hey, I'm Roy Powers here at Gamescom 2017, and I'm going to give you a tour of the Microsoft booth. Let's go! So first up, they've got a lot of different stations all around here where you can go in, play different games, check out what they got coming up. Games like Hunt Down, Pens,
Was unnötig
Halo
ist.
Wars 2,
Ja, aber ich will was hören.
Pastries.
Dann mach's wenigstens ohne Ton. Servus Yannick.
One of the coolest things they actually have here is the Xbox Design Lab. Now here at the station,
Oder
you
mach's
design
halt
your
ohne
own
Ton,
custom
mir egal.
controllers and order them so you can actually play with your own custom controller on your Xbox.
Dann probieren wir's. Alla Wambo darf schon
We've got an
mal.
exclusive Gamescom edition. Feels surreal. I just wanna.
Ja, stell ja mal am besten auch so unten seitlich hin jetzt. Weil mittendrin ist Kacke.
Oh Jesus, I thought that was glass.
Mittendrin sieht aber jeder.
Ja, aber...
And finally, a very special
Wie geht's dir,
section where you
Yannick?
can check out the brand new Xbox One X.
Ah, es geht das wieder los.
Aber ist besser, Lautstärke?
Ja, aber er nervt trotzdem.
So that was our tour of the Xbox booth. Hope you liked it, and stay tuned all this week for the very latest Gamescom coverage.
Wobei, hast recht, das kann man dann schön schicken dann.
Welcome back to IGN Live. I'm here talking with Tommy, the lead narrative.
Einen Lutscher am Po, der das vielleicht Werbung für Oreo macht das
Ne, der eine ist immer noch laut.
wirklich sind, kriegt keiner von
Der mit der Lutscher.
Writing it together with my writing partner Jens Mattis, who's the creative director of the Wolfenstein. There's been just so many.
Wambo, weißt du, wer das da ist, da, der auf dem Follower Alert ist? Ich glaube, hoffentlich erkennst du dich.
Tell me about the main character for people who aren't completely versed in the Wolfenstein series, and I think maybe they'll start to understand why this is such a fun thing for you to work on.
Yeah, I mean, DJ is the original hero from the Wolfenstein 3D. And you know,
das ist wieder schnell dabei, ne?
Typical 80s American.
Mit dem Bot geht das halt easy.
And what we've done is to sort of explore that character, that super heroic character, and add a lot of, you know, humanity and explore some of the more layered depths of him. And that's
Jetzt muss er erst überlegen, was er schreibt.
Fun to explore in our writing.
Which I think is really fascinating because we,
in the
80s and 90s, we had a lot of video game characters that were like
Guck, Achtung, geil. Ich habe echt viel Langeweile, ja. Glaube ich. Muss noch ein bisschen lauter machen. Leiser. Ich mach's am besten komplett aus.
Was wär, hätt ich einen Lutscher am Po, der das vielleicht. Werbung für Oreo macht das alles wirklich Sinn. Keine vernünftige Werbung hin.
Der manipuliert den Bot gerade.
Yeah, there's so many things that we can explore in that sort of contract.
He just wants to go home and raise
and we're exploring that a lot with this the relationship between him and his
Ich will was hören, fertig.
Sort of taking its toll on him, and right now we're seeing him rolling around in a wheelchair.
Machen wir es halt so.
Warte, ich mache noch gerade leise, hör doch mal zu.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the New Order,
wieder rein, ich hab's leiser gemacht.
Überleg mal.
He was really a broken man. There's, you know, and it's so interesting to continue that story and to explore, you know, actions have consequences, and so we start this game with him being absolutely broken and not his physical abilities are not what they used to be, and having that through gameplay, experiencing that climb, that struggle up again is really interesting.
What's that like, writing a character that hasn't sort of hit rock bottom but is sort of beginning at it, you know? Like, it's not like you're making the situations tougher and tougher for him. Like, when you find him, he's not in good shape, and so you kind of inherit this character that has been through hell. What's it like to sort of start the story with somebody in such a bad spot?
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes it so much more interesting to have him start at the, really beaten down and exploring him and his struggles in the situations and you know how that affects his.
Nach Wolfenstein kam doch auch nochmal irgendwas und dann kam Dragon Ball, ne?
His continued fight against the Nazis.
Nach Wolfenstein kommt Lego Marvel, dann hat Nino Kuni
Were there any
und als allerletztes kommt Dragon Ball.
From literature or film or TV that sort of inspired that kind of trajectory that we see him on here?
Well, we sort of try to have a really open mind when we write the games, and we're not you know, focusing on a single type of character. So, but I usually liken his story a little bit to Die Hard, to John McClane there.
That's so weird, because I was literally going to say that about how he's beaten down at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. He's in that situation where, you know, the bad guys have taken over everything, and he's like walking through broken glass, bleeding feet, and what he really wants to do is get home and celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, with Holly Gennaro.
Yeah, exactly.
Such a great movie.
It is.
No, so I'm fascinated in the way this is all coming together, because obviously, you know, we look at the enemies in this game, we look at the setting of this game, which now takes place in America mostly.
Yeah, yeah.
So why the decision to bring it there? or here, or there,
yeah.
wherever you are?
Well, America was always in our sights, even from when we started working on.
Hauptsache, der fährt im Rollstuhl und schießt dabei.
To go to America because a lot of this, you know, the 60s, the cultural explosion, the cultural revolutions,
Kommt ein bisschen komisch.
civil rights movement and all of that.
Kannst du auch machen, kannst du auch wohl an deiner rechte Hand
coupled with America at that
Für mich wäre das
time.
zu schwer.
And I think we wanted to go there, but we didn't want to have just
Ja, weißt du,
one
was ich
level
richtig
set
geil
there
finde, Seni?
we just knew that it had to be
Diese
its own
Abteilung
game.
eher auf Steam, kostenlose Spiele auf
So it's
Steam,
been
was steht
very,
da? Spiele, die so 2,39 kosten.
get to go there finally and see,
Super.
all of that, those familiar images from the 60s, but subverted by the Nazi ideology.
Right, which I think is very interesting because like a lot of our audience, the audience who plays video games are young and didn't live through that time and didn't understand that, you know, what that was culturally or what the Nazis.
Aber war nicht mal. Ach nee, das war Metro, was ich meine.
So how do you sort of get to
Ach, mit so Zombie-Dingern.
that era and
Gab's auch in Wolfenstein.
Ah, doch, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
in dem letzten
a lot
Teil.
of it is tricky.
Aber normalerweise nur Metro,
find
oder?
these sort of familiar moments,
Keine Ahnung, ich kenn Metro nicht.
Das ist so horrormäßig gemacht, glaube ich.
We don't want it to be too, you know,
Ich weiß nur, dass du Metro hast.
but I think,
Aber nie gespielt, glaube ich. Das war mal bei so einem Ding.
To show this kind of how
Mit dabei.
the Nazis
Bei einem Humble Bundle
sort
oder
of
was?
pushing their oppression onto the people slowly but surely.
Oh, was gerade drin ist, Seni.
And
Da ist ein PlayStation Bundle drin, wenn es da draus gemacht wurde. Das ist ziemlich cool.
Subverting these pop culture
Oder was gibt's
I was
denn da
gonna say,
alles?
do we get to see the
Ja,
way
nix.
it kind of influences like art,
Oh, Scheiße.
music? I mean, when you think about this
Beim
world, when you're
PlayStation
thinking
Bundle?
about every corner of it, even the
Ja,
parts
du kriegst
that
einen
the player might
Battlebond,
not
hör
see.
zu.
Yeah,
Trial.
sure. I mean, we're exploring
Austesten.
of,
Das ist scheiße.
different cultural expressions there.
Alles nur für Playsy.
game
Der braucht die Scheiße
stuff
schon.
that you can, you know,
Ein Evolve ist
everything
inzwischen
from
free to
little
play.
details to things that are sort of part of the story.
Now, the weapons in this game, is that something like when you're coming up with the narrative, how much of that is influenced by
Oh, bis gleich, Jenny.
what the
Entschuldigung, habe ich gerade erst
character is
gelesen.
using to get through the situation at the time?
We try to have you know, sort of a give and take there always, and that's what's so great about working with guys at Machine Games, that we have this idea that the narrative and gameplay should go hand in hand from the get-go, and so we always work like that, where we sort of start with maybe a basic premise, and the gameplay guys start brainstorming ideas, and we get together and figure out, you know, locations, settings that are interesting to explore, or gameplay stuff like, you know, being in a wheelchair, stuff like that. Yeah, so it's always a give and take, and I think that's really important.
I think, like, for the average gamer, I mean, including me, I think people would think that, you know, someone would write a story, someone else just adds guns to the story, they animate it in, and then it's done. But you guys aren't approaching this game like that.
No. We start from the get-go. We're super focused on the narrative and the gameplay experience being like walking in hand in hand. I think that's very important to align the player motivation with the character's motivation, and I think you have to be part of the gameplay development from the start in order to do that.
I think that's a fantastic approach.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you're dealing with a lot of serious, actual real-life villains here. Probably more real than they need to be these days. But you're also dealing with a lot of sort of goofy.
Ach ja, das habe ich gespielt in der Alpha noch.
Sci-fi stuff.
Das ist in Steam reinkommen, ja. Das ist ganz witzig sogar, das Spiel. Kann man von mir aus mal runterladen später. Nein, das ist wie Overwatch.
Das ist ein schneller strategischer Hero-Shooter mit Kämpfen gegen.
Ja, ist aber nicht so.
Get a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
ist kein Shooter.
Both me and Jens and the other guys really like these kinds of stories.
Ist halt Overwatch-mäßig.
Was kann man sich denn da kaufen?
Stories that don't just hit one single note all the time, but instead contains contrast between, you know, lightness and darkness, humor, seriousness.
Ja, das war früher nur im Windows Store drinne.
It's also part of, you know, the legacy of the Wolfenstein series. Right. The first game, I mean, it's
die Elder Scrolls Legends
in the
Kartenspiel.
But it's, at the same time, there's this silliness, this over-the-top violence, and I think that New Order was sort of a continuation of that, but even more emphasized through this alternate reality.
So do you have it so like the artists come to, and animators come to you with an idea for sort of a set piece or...
War nicht Wolfenstein auch dieses Hitler-ähnliche Spiel da mit diesen ganzen...
Do they come to you with those things? Do you bring ideas to them? Like how does that flow?
Oh, normalerweise darf ich das doch dann gar nicht zeigen.
Doch, weil die zeigen das dann, das mit den Nazis wird daraus gemacht. Weil das auf der Gamescom ist.
Ja, stimmt.
And the animators are like, what?
In America is
and then the other way they have their own ideas, you know, how to construct scenes or set pieces or to make it as cool as possible. So there's this.
Na, wäre ja auch blöd, wenn sie es selbst hochladen bei Twitch.
A game like this that I don't think is really almost not possible.
Kann man das aber erst später runtersehen nach dem Stream.
Ja, mal schauen. Ist ja um 18 Uhr. Nee, jetzt halt um halb, glaube ich, fertig schon.
19 Uhr ist das erst fertig.
Ja, aber jetzt ist ja schon Wolfenstein. Kommt es eine halbe Stunde lang?
Was?
Wolfenstein?
Steht nur ab 9, ja, erst um Viertel nach, kommt auch erst,
okay, also geht das eine halbe Stunde, okay.
Ah, das läuft eigentlich, sollte eigentlich erst in 6 Minuten starten.
Das ist, dann sind sie eine Viertelstunde früher fertig. Man kommt um halb Dragon Ball.
And he's going to meet his contact in a diner in Roswell, and suddenly this Nazi commandant enters and wants to order a milkshake and starts up a conversation, and it gets really intense.
Dass es aber immer noch Nazi-Spiele gibt überhaupt.
Alle Gegend sind das scheiße Nazis. Wie Wambo.
Ah, so ein Internet-Nazi, hast du recht, ja.
That sounds completely terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
I can't wait to experience this. When can people play this game?
October 27th this year.
And this is coming to...
PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Awesome. Tommy, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Wolfenstein 2 looks incredible. We'll be covering games all week long right here for Gamescom with IGN, so stick around.
War auch wieder 5 Minuten früher fertig.
IGN Live at Gamescom 2017 is presented by Fortnite, available now, and Destiny 2. Pre-purchase exclusively on Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access.
If you're out there, we need your help. The storm came, the monsters followed. Now, it's time to fight back.
Show them what Guardians are made of!
Ich finde es halt cool, dass er bei Destiny wirklich keine 60 FPS macht, sondern wirklich uncappt, ne?
Hold on back there!
Pre-purchase Destiny 2 exclusively at Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access.
Bei der Zeit läuft das auf mindestens 140.
Right, so we're at Gamescom 2017. I'm in the brightest place I think I've ever been. There's people with molten wax on them. Is this hell? I think it might be hell or heaven. And to mark the occasion, you're gonna mutilate your body.
Finally, everyone's always
saying Minecraft hat aber auch einen Pixelunterschied von 5 Millionen. Wenn nicht noch mehr.
Oh, they say way worse than that.
Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's all gonna change now because I'm gonna get my first ink, my first taste of the ink.
Let's go do it.
Hello. Hi. What do we think?
On your face.
I don't think face.
Verstehe nicht, wenn das so laut ist, warte.
Arm?
That's nice.
Neck?
Ja.
Yes.
In Minecraft kann man auch so 1080p Texture reinpacken, dann hast du da auch nur noch 60 FPS, wenn du
Ja, aber wenn man jetzt Minecraft mit Destiny vergleicht, ne?
Es gibt doch Tech-Topics angucken, die richtig hart reinhauen, Alter. Die gibt es. Die gehen bis zu 512-fache Auflösung hoch.
Have you played Evil Within?
Die Texture-Packs, da brauchst du alleine schon 68 GB RAM für die Texture-Packs.
Ja gut, okay. Hast doch recht gehabt.
Was?
Ja, eher.
This is my resting bicep. No tensing going on. The impossible is happening. I'm becoming whiter.
Evil Within 2, ach ja, haben sie angekündigt. Ich kann kurz wegessen, gucken.
Keep it off here. 5 minutes. Okay. Cool. And then it's permanent.
And then it's forever, right?
Then it's forever and you don't.
Aber dennoch haben es ja leider nicht alle Spiele, das uncapped, ne?
You're rocking that forever now?
Yeah, I think went all in on this one.
Okay, I really hope Evil Within 2's good then.
It better be.
Die Evil Within 2 wird bestimmt auch cool. Ich muss aber den 1 mal weiterspielen im Stream.
Welcome back to IGN Live from Gamescom. We are playing Lego Marvel Superheroes 2.
Jetzt kommt Lego Marvel, genau.
Welcome to the stage.
What's up, guys? Thank you very much.
I always like when we have live demos on the show.
Yes.
Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. What are you going to show us today?
So we've got some brand new content. We've kind of touched on some bits and pieces. This time around, brand new level. We're level 7 of the game. We're in Asgard. We've got a big boss encounter against Surtur. And we're going to show you some brand new characters as well. And this is kind of tying into what we're doing with a story point of view. The story really kind of drops and changes with all these characters coming together. We're actually going to show you how we've got various versions of characters in the game together. So we've actually got 2 versions of Thor in this level. We've got Thor that's Jane Foster, and we've got classic Thor. So in the intro cutscene to this, Jane Foster turns around and goes, "Oh, Thor, is it really you?" And this is kind of part of the experience that you get with this game. We have all these characters.
Na, Minecraft ist nicht schlecht, Dario.
I feel like we could interview you guys every other day, and each time you'd be like, "We have a 7."
Minecraft hat sich auch gut durchgesetzt über die Jahre, sonst wär's nicht überall draußen.
I'm not complaining. That is a fantastic problem to have.
Yeah, we love it. The team massive Marvel fans.
Selbst die neuen Konsolen tun das noch unterstützen.
And there's some really obscure ones. It's absolutely brilliant.
Let's jump right into the gameplay here. Where we are Captain America.
So yeah, Captain America. We've actually got Loki. So in the cutscene, it looks like Thor, Jane Foster's talking to Odin. It's actually revealed it's not. It's Loki, and he's now helping us out because Surtur's turned up and we need to do something.
It looks like things are going well.
Yeah, so everything's on fire. Everything's falling to pieces.
This is fine.
So we'll just use Loki. So he's got his chest, and you can use that to put out any fires in the level. And basically, with Surtur, he's got fire, so let's chuck some water at him. So we're using some of the characters and some of the abilities to kind of interact with the environment. Captain America's got his shield switches.
Gegen wen kämpfen die da eigentlich?
Like beam Surtur in the face with this big old water bomb.
Is this like a Captain America catapult?
Yeah,
it is now.
Yeah, trademarked.
That rules.
So, and the idea here is like basically we're trying to kind of introduce the player to this different type of boss encounter. So from a gameplay point of view, we said that this is the 7th level. So there's a reason why we're
auch so ein Game, was ich mir kaufen werde.
doing these events.
Marvel Superheroes?
Ja, ich hab den ersten Teil gespielt. Ich fand ihn geil.
Der Ding, der Jakko hat das.
Ich
habe das auf der PS3 gespielt. Wenn die dann noch so Sachen wie oh mein Gott, Flash gehört zu DC, scheiße.
Was ich cool fand an Lego-Spielen war immer Harry Potter.
Ja, fand ich auch. Obwohl das war irgendwie mal sehr unübersichtlich.
Ich mochte auch die PlayStation-Spiele, die alten von Harry Potter.
Ich
hatte das Gamecube-Spiel früher, das von
Quidditch.
Was?
Quidditch?
Nein, war das. Ich hab das glaube ich immer noch.
It's testament to kind of everyone in the team, especially the design team, even like audio cues and highlights. Anything that's in the world you have to interact with if it's made of Lego. That's really important to us. So whether it's a boss encounter or something that you can pick up and throw, and then it's about making sure that the player knows kind of instinctively.
Das Spiel und der Gefangene von Azkaban habe ich.
Ah, okay.
Where this is the 7th level, we kind of teach you.
Das allererste war am geilsten. Ja, es gibt auch ein Quidditch-Spiel, wo man nur Quidditch gespielt hat.
kind of drawing the player to something
Ich fand das cool.
Kids play it and they go, oh, I want to see what that is. They go over there, they figure it out, and they go, oh, that's what I needed.
So it looks like the boss is getting a little fed up and has brought the fight right to us.
Yeah, this is one of the really cool things that we've actually tried to do with LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2. We've actually changed to a more dynamic boss system. So instead of in past LEGO games, for example, you'd hit the boss a few times, you get a bit dizzy. Now actually what happens, you'll actually find that the boss will start attacking you, but if you want to go toe-to-toe with him, he'll start doing attacks to knock you back. If you stay at a distance and you're just doing ranged attacks all the time, he actually starts deflecting beams back at you, bullets back at you. So you've got to constantly change up the way that you're attacking the bosses, otherwise you end up getting killed quite a lot, basically. So we basically looked at the past games and kind of saw where we can improve, and that's the same with how you're saying about how we direct the player, how we make the levels easier to follow. Every game is a learning experience, so it makes every next game even better.
Now everything from
Aber das sind ja bestimmt alle Helden, die man da sieht, oder?
Was?
Die man nehmen kann.
Die du halt siehst, oder was?
Ja, ich glaube, da gibt's mehr, oder?
Klar gibt's da viel mehr. Du kannst ja auch eigene erstellen, halt wie in jedem anderen Lego-Game auch.
Oh yeah,
okay.
very much so. The fact that this is a Lego game means that everything has to be kind of true to Lego. So the way
Thor mit langen Haaren und den Helm sieht einfach hässlich aus, keine Ahnung.
Match Lego's guidelines, if you will. We work really closely with them because the second we start doing stuff that you couldn't do within Lego, it's no longer a Lego game. So we want people to sit there and go, that's really cool. Like some of the builds, yeah, you would need a fortune and an awful lot of Lego bricks. There's in the very first level.
Kannst auch als Hulk spielen, falls du Hulk spielen willst.
Ja, Hulk ist cool.
Oder der Spider-Man mit dem neuen Anzug.
Beziehungsweise
generell Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think even if you introduced like a new piece,
like Thanos spielen als Galactus, Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four.
This Batmobile I'm working on.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we're always kind of really current as well. So Lego have elements that they bring in special colors and stuff like that.
Hauptsache, der kommt mit dem Schiff und es macht einfach mal Wasser auf. Natürlich.
Nope.
If there's literally something that hasn't been necessarily made before in Lego, not necessarily individual pieces, but our model team and our character team are absolutely amazing, and they will actually create it like, physically and bring it up to the design team or whoever they're working with and actually go, this is what we have in mind.
That's
so you
so
actually
cool.
get to hold it in your hands and stuff, and you actually get to see how it would actually feel and play.
That's really cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, I think that you don't really get that advantage with a lot of other video games because if somebody like, say on a different game designs
Der Captain America läuft aber ein bisschen komisch.
on the computer, but with you guys, well, this has a physical rule set. Like there's properties here. There's
Aber der läuft so komisch nach vorne.
These characters to look and feel.
Da siehst du, wie viele Charaktere es gibt, Seni.
Alter Vater.
Kannst du alle freischalten. Das sind sogar, keine Ahnung, ich glaube, es sind doppelt so viele im ersten Teil.
This is just, I never get over this. I can't even imagine how long it's going to take me to unlock.
Diese Lady America gibt es zum Beispiel auch.
Quite a while, but it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And it's really, like I say, it's really important to us because we know that there are people who are massive fans, not just of saying, okay, I'm a fan of Spider-Man, but I'm a fan of Spider-Man 2099. That's what I read. So they want to know about those characters. They want to know that that character's there. So the team do an incredible job of really kind of doing justice and making them feel like they do. And some of the new characters that we've got, so we've got Greenskin Smash Troll, who's part of the medieval England. We also have a Maestro. So Maestro is actually Hulk from
guck mal, da ist Hulk, Seni.
He's a new version of Hulk.
Wow. Aber ein alter Hulk. Nee, das ist selbst erstellt. Nee, das ist Maestro.
So we get to kind of include these characters and be able to, like you say, every time we turn up, we hopefully get to show you something new.
Carnage gibt zum Beispiel auch, Seni.
Did I see
Carnage ist geil.
We have Carnum. Carnage is in the game.
Right.
That is a reveal, but we have the Carnum, which is the character space.
Right.
Das ist Carnage und Venom zusammen, Seni.
Das sieht sogar geil aus.
The level
das gibt's ja auch im
boss fight level is absolutely amazing. I'm biased slightly because I designed it, but the whole idea behind it is I wanted to create a very kind of scary experience. It's all very much inspired by
Splatoon.
Ja, Splatoon. Ich hab Cartoon gesagt.
Ich hab Splatoon verstanden.
I think it's time for Lego John Carpenter's The Thing. I'd play that game.
I would be all over that game.
That'd be terrifying.
Yeah, great new character. This is a character called Vormund. He's a German Captain America, Hauptmann Deutschland he was called, and this is a special reveal.
Captain Deutschland.
Because we're here and we wanted to say thank you.
Alles da?
Ja.
It's a really cool character. He's got a really rich backstory as well. So
Kannst du nicht.
Larry sagt, danke für den Follow.
Wer hat das geschrieben?
Der Charakter heißt so.
Ich hätte den. Vor mir bitte.
Ich bin hinter dir. Der ist beim Frosch, jetzt geht er zum nächsten.
Ja. ja, schon davor, oder was?
Yeah, the kind of all those bits and pieces. So this is actually a slightly different variation. So when they knew that Iron Man was kind of
Danke für den Follow.
So they Hydra created their own kind of versions of these characters, and so like I say,
so mit der Lautstärke?
It's really current.
Yeah. Noch ein bisschen laut. Aber ist egal jetzt. Ja, es ist egal jetzt.
And here we have
die sind sonst auf 40.
Old West version of Iron Man. It's a little bit kind of more steampunky. So.
Es sind echt extrem viele, Dario, das stimmt.
Oh no, I see.
It's like it's sort of like a blacksmith outfit, you know. I mean, like in the story that it's kind of based on, he's sort of like a workshop blacksmith kind of guy, and he makes this steampunk suit of armor. It's kind of like based in the Wild West. It's really cool.
I like the idea of this boss being like, "What is happening?" This guy he just turned into a flying frog and like a steampunk bartender.
It's really great as well, because as we kind of show, we talked a little bit about Chronopolis, but for Gamescom we've revealed a new Chronopolis trailer which shows you some more of the locations, and they're not just places to look at. There are things there are characters, there are objectives. So even when you're outside of the story mode and you're exploring Chronopolis, there's a huge amount of content in there as well.
Captain America wie mal Cowboy-Hut.
Hardcore comic to the really quirky, some very strange quests that the designers have done, but they're really fun. So
now tell us about this weird Wild West Captain America guy going on right now.
It was basically all based off a Jack Kirby drawing that he did, and again, it's a testament to like one our characterized, the way that Marvel have set everything up and the rich back history that Marvel have. It gives us this huge license to because the whole story isn't just about the breadth of characters.
Visit, ich glaube, ist richtig ausgesprochen. Danke für den Follow.
Was? You literally have characters named like.
Das ist komisch, der Name, keine Ahnung. A_Visit. Aber. Nein. Ich glaube, ich habe es falsch ausgesprochen.
So how's this boss fight going?
Well, I was running around and showing you guys characters, and then I figured I better finish up now because he's probably kind of like.
This is actually the toughest boss in LEGO video game history. It takes about 45 minutes. It's like a raid.
Yeah. It's one of the cool things though, it's not just the boss characters that have been redone. Like the general enemies, you do have enemy types now, so there's a little bit more thought in the combat. So it's not just.
Wie lange der braucht für den Bosskampf?
So like
jetzt kam der Follower aus dem erst bei mir, Seni.
Jetzt
kam der Follower erst bei mir.
Wenn man die meisten freischalten will, dauert es aber. Ja, definitiv. Aber es ist ja meistens immer dasselbe.
Wenn du dich dran hältst, schaffst du es in einem Tag.
Design this level, so you think I would actually be better at playing.
Das Lady Thor oder was?
But we wanted to show you guys a couple of the new characters and obviously show this level because it's never been shown before. It's the first time at Gamescom. Hopefully the guys who are seeing it for the first time actually really like it.
So we see this running on a PS4 right now. It's really
Nein. Den meine ich
nicht. That's Lady Thor. Everything should look good. This game is gorgeous. Like, it actually looks plastic, which is probably the best compliment I can give it.
We have a really hard-working engine team, art team, model team, character team. They're the guys that really don't get enough credit. I mean, I'm lucky that I get to be here talking about it, but like literally everyone that is still back in the office working really hard on this game, a massive thank you to them because they're the ones who make absolutely everything. They're the guys still working in the mines,
right?
Sort of thing while we're.
We get
the champagne.
The sunny Cologne while they're stuck in the office still. And it's one of the first titles like.
Dann kommt Nino Kuni und dann Dragon Ball.
Next gen only, so this is Xbox One.
Ah, der Hulk sogar geil. Danke Domi für den Host. Der Hulk sieht sogar geil aus. Er hat sogar die Rüstung aus dem dritten Torteil da. Vom Planet Hulk.
Every time, and that kind of jump from a generational console point of view means that we get to do things we just couldn't do previously.
The hub itself is 2 times bigger than the last game that we ever did, and when we did that hub, we thought there's no way this hub could be even bigger. And then we get into this next one, and then the hub's twice the size of the last game, and it's filled with more things, more collectibles, more stories. The hub itself has little stories that sort of like weave through it. So even during the main game, when you're playing the main story, there are these little kind of hub stories that you go and
das ist die Rüstung aus dem Teil, richtig.
Missions and stuff. We've got these really cool bonus missions that we're so dying to show off, which may pop up.
You probably finished the last game too, and you're like, well, that's all the Marvel characters, and it's like, well, what about Throg?
Yeah, I literally get about 10 notifications.
40 Sekunden Delay gerade zu dir gehabt.
What about these characters?
Yeah.
What about these characters? And we love you all, by the way. Keep them coming.
I have to say thank you for bringing.
Danke Luca für den Host mit 0 Zuschauern, das ist aber lieb.
Soll ich nochmal machen?
Nee. Bei 50 hätte ich gesagt, ja.
Yeah, so November.
Natürlich, Ranel. Auch danke für den Host von dir, Ranel. Dankeschön, Dankeschön, Dankeschön.
Für die nur Zuschauer, Dankeschön.
Okay.
Ist er wieder weg.
So, Nino Kuni 2. Dann noch Dragon Ball und dann sind wir für heute fertig.
IGN Live at Gamescom 2017 is presented by Fortnite, available now, and Destiny 2. Pre-purchase
Mein Highlight ist immer wieder zum Schluss.
And get early beta access.
Machen die extra, ne?
Oh, Nino Kuni ist ja auch gut. Den Namen lese ich nicht vor, aber danke.
Den Namen?
Der Gara.
Wieso liest du den Namen nicht vor?
Ich habe der ganze gelesen.
Was?
Weil er auch gepostet hat.
Purchase Destiny 2 exclusively at Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access.
Alles Mitläufer. Benjamin, du lieber Elefant, Dankeschön für den null Zuschauer.
Really? Not the
Yeah,
original,
Post.
because they've been making this game for a very long time.
Yeah.
Dogfighting was like a really cool part of
Hype.
it, but it was kind of slow. You had to pick up like hero tokens to do
Den Namen will ich aber nicht mehr vor, eben gerade hast du schon.
So the problem with that was like if you weren't good at it, you would get blown up, and it would take you a few minutes to get back into the match.
So long.
So right off the bat, everything is so
Du
much
hast
faster
gerade nicht gehostet?
You get
Doch.
exploded, which will
Du
happen
warst sogar
if
der
a TIE
Erste.
fighter hits you or an X-Wing hits you, depending on which side you pick.
Yeah.
But then you're kind of right back into the
Yeah.
action right off the bat. So the controls sort of feel similar. I thought they felt a little sensitive.
Yeah.
Like it was the kind of thing where if I tapped to the left, I started barrel rolling a lot quicker than I thought.
Right.
If you're into a little bit more sort of like sim style,
Okay.
like, you know, actual like kind of like Valkyrie type stuff.
Oh man,
you might be a little bit better. It's a little more that than it is say Star Fox.
Okay.
But I see myself getting the hang of it.
Yeah. And you can play as Darth Maul, right?
Yeah, so Darth Maul's ship, the scimitar is in this game. It can go into like stealth mode so people can't see it.
That's cool.
It's really awesome. Slave One's
Weiß aber auch,
back.
wer
It's
es
got those
ist.
big. I can't even make the noise.
Das
From the
Hamburg.
prequels, it's like it's deafening.
It's a good noise.
It was the best part of
Nice.
seeing Attack of the Clones in theaters.
Yeah. And how many people were you playing against?
God, it felt like dozens because it's just you're just dogfighting over this gigantic war going on in the sky.
Yeah.
So this like the sort of space combat that everyone really wanted from the last one.
Yeah.
Is here this time. Everywhere I looked, it seemed like something was exploding or someone was dying. Like it really does feel and sound and look like Star Wars. I think they're like Criterion's working on it.
Yeah.
So they have the ship controls down. I say that as if like I know how a TIE fighter actually should control.
Yeah, like they did cars.
Like
they
can
can do
cars.
ships.
They can do
It's
some, like
fine.
rotating sky cars. It's fine. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how deep into the sort of like weird Star Wars lore they go with this because we saw some stuff for the prequels. Like I think there's such a deep bench of ideas that you can pick from there.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the best stuff about the prequels is some of the ships and some of the characters.
Yeah, definitely.
Less so much
man.
the scripts, but you don't really have to worry about them.
You haven't got to
when
worry
you're
about that anymore. That's
yeah,
absolutely
when you're
fine.
shooting
Yeah.
stuff in the sky.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like what?
Dominator LP hat auch gehostet.
Yeah, I believe it was Fondor, but it was cool. Star Wars is definitely something that's been like near and dear to me for my entire life.
True.
Yeah. And it took me a minute to sort of appreciate the prequels. You know, some people, if you're younger, you like it right off the bat.
Yeah.
But I think they're really well represented in this game, and I think people are really going to dig it.
I think you're right though. I think like as someone who like a huge Star Wars fan as well, like you, as you say, like you might not appreciate.
Gebt euch einen
but
Tipp,
there's big
geht am besten noch euren Stream drauf. Auch dir, Wambo, Dankeschön für den Host.
And people who are making the video games are kind of people like our age who've
Die nehme ich sogar besonders ernst. Warum tust du nicht die ganzen Follower bei dir eigentlich auf den Twitch-Account? Da wären wenigstens 100 Leute rübergekommen.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's really good. So I really like the idea that they're doing stuff, from the first one that people really want from the dogfights thing, and it kind of feels like they are doing a really good little bit of fan service.
Yeah, like we only got
Ist
to check
aber
out
halt
multiplayer
unnötig.
stuff on the show floor. I really can't wait for single player.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. But yeah, right now this is shaping up to be a really cool game.
Awesome stuff. Thank you very much, man. Keep it right here for everything else at Gamescom.
So, Nino Kuni.
Welcome back to IGN Live from Gamescom. We are playing Ni no Kuni 2 with Fred and Pierre. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Let's jump right into the game and give us a quick overview of this. Of course, there's the original Ni no Kuni was a PlayStation 3 game. This is not a direct sequel, but takes place in the same universe, is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. The game is taking place in a same universe, sometimes before or after. It's not entirely clear yet, and it's a completely new story. So new characters. You do not necessarily need to play the first one to understand and enjoy this one. And the story is all about Ivan, that you can see right here. And it's
noch lauter.
So
noch lauter.
Team of a coup, its own kingdom of Ding Dong Dell.
Scheide lang mal.
Now he's hiding in the mountains. And he will have to decide what he wants to do now.
Ja.
And probably his next move will be to decide to become a run-through king, and he will go on and try to set up his own kingdom. And right now, this mission right here, it's very early in the game. It's actually in the village of Cloud Coil Canyons. We are with the Sky Pirates.
Die Grafik ist aber echt hübsch. Bin so froh, dass sie das für den PC rausbringen. Das habe ich auf jeden Fall auch vorzuholen.
Girl from the clan of the Sky Pirates.
Now we say a lot at IGN when playing.
Hat voll die Grafik ein bisschen von Zelda, einen neuen. Kann das sein?
How did you
erinnert mich stark daran.
Conquer the sort of idea of making a game that looks like a video game and a cartoon at the same time? This looks like a playable cartoon. So how do you land on that?
Well, that actually has to do with the way the team is set up, because behind the character design, there's a lot of people coming from the animation.
Hat mega Ähnlichkeit mit dem Breath of the Wild.
Who used to be an animator at Studio Ghibli, and he worked on movies like Spirited Away, for instance, and The Grave of the Fireflies. And that guy is designing all the characters of Ni no Kuni 2. So you've got this influence from these kind of Japanese animated movies. And you have also people like Joe Hisaishi making the music and the soundtrack, and we've got this great team working at level 5 making those amazing visuals, and that's how you get this cartoon type characters. But if you look closely at the environments, they are way more realistic.
Seni?
Ni no Kuni. Sieht aber aus wie Breath of the Wild.
And you get this unique mix that's you know,
von der Grafik
different from what we had in the first game and different from.
Breath of the Wild sieht ganz anders aus.
Ich finde aber trotzdem ist die Grafik sehr gut.
But are there any references to characters or events from the first game?
Yeah, I'm sure if you play the first games, you will see some Easter eggs. You will recognize some characters, you will recognize some places.
Die weibliche Tour ist die Tussi, in die er verknallt ist. Aus der Erde, die.
Exactly. You'll know more surprises.
Ich habe einen Zuschauer, danke für die Hose, aber es sind trotzdem 0.
I'm not sure if you can hear the music that much, but that's supposedly the moment where this great Joe Hisaishi music is kicking off.
Arizunduri, danke für Follow.
What we can call the overworld.
Yes, that's the
ja,
between two.
Mach's am besten weiter runter.
And as you can
ich
see,
sehe sonst nichts vom Bild.
And you can definitely choose your path. So right now,
das mache ich bei Dragon Ball lieber aus.
But you do not have to
ach, da stirbt er und sie nimmt den Hammer, weil sie Krebs hat und das rettet sie für ein paar Jahre. Ah, siehst du mal. Immer mal wieder aus. Jetzt, ich will jetzt ein bisschen noch in Ruhe gucken.
You've got the sea over there, and you can see the rest of the world. So it's all interconnected. It's not just
ja, und am besten der Ton komplett aus.
Unique level. And here's
ist schon auf 10, Seni.
Ja, kannst du machen auf 0.
Den mache ich nie auf 0, weil ich dann später wieder alles umstellen muss.
Dann lass ich das.
That's one of the big news from the
Siehst halt aber keine Follower mehr, dann hauen sie das direkt wieder ab.
Oh, ist okay. Ich will es aber jetzt in Ruhe gucken.
Oh, warte mal, ich weiß, was ich machen kann.
Das Kampfsystem ist lol, wie bei Ding.
Wie bei was?
Ach, wie heißt das? Nee, Dragon Nest.
So how did you guys decide to go with this combat system rather than something that was more traditional RPG turn-based?
Well, I mean, if you're looking at the original Kuni, it comes from a game that was published on the DS, and at the time doing the turn-based system was the most obvious thing to do. So when they ported the game onto PS3, they decided to have something a little bit more action-oriented, and that's how we ended up with the monster system from the first game. But now the standard of JRPG have evolved again, and we've got some new games like, you know, looking at a Persona, looking at Zelda. Everything is brand new, so they want to raise the bar again, and they really, really want to deliver the best combat system possible.
So you even see hand-drawn elements like in the mini-map in the upper right.
Oh yeah, there's a huge influence. I mean, there are some artworks for this game. Everything is so gorgeous. There's a bunch of people at level 5 and in the team behind the game. They're so talented.
And we're seeing the character sort of collect stuff in the overworld. If you look at traditional RPGs, you did have an overworld like this, very top-down, and that's where you had your battles and stuff. But now there's also kind of secrets to find everywhere, treasure chests, all sorts of things.
Yeah, exactly.
That's treasure chest right here.
No one will ever find this.
Well, you know, those guys are sky pirates, so they're traveling with their flying motorbike, so every now and then a chest falls apart and it falls on the ground. No, it's good to let people who really want to explore the universe, and the people who really want to see all the secrets. They can have a lot of time having fun, and as you can see, you don't have to do all the fights. If you're not noticed by the enemies, you can just avoid them and just go straight for the objective.
It's also cool that there's a lot of verticality in the overworld. It's not just a flat.
Yeah, exactly. And
doch eher dann wie Ding.
You see something, but you can't access it yet. So yes,
das, was ich schon sage,
and we can see a little bit more.
Das ist doch nicht so offen, wie ich gedacht habe.
Range attack.
Was denn?
Standing around.
Das Kampfsystem.
And this creature there,
das ähnelt doch eher an Ding.
Those are the guys who
dass du an einem Monster dran laufen musst, ja.
Aber kein bisschen.
Ja gut, stimmt, du kannst nur nach vorne und hinten laufen.
What Fred just did here with the higgledies, the little sprites on the ground, he's using their abilities.
Wann kannst du Tales auch nur links und rechts, nach vorne und links, vorne und hinten laufen?
Jetzt zur Seite kannst du nicht, da musst du springen.
Klar kannst du zur Seite bei Tales of Hysteria.
Blue higgledies, they can provide with
Servus, Selina.
And of course, the charging abilities, so if you hold R2, you get to your special skills. Like this, they are displayed, and then with the press
square or
triangle, you get a special ability. If you charge them next to the higgledies will jump on you, and you will get their power. So if you're next to the fire higgledies and charge your hit, then your hit will be in flames, and you will do some fire damages.
They're very excited to be in this battle with you.
Can
they get? Speaking of which, can they die? Can they get hurt?
They can get hurt, actually. You've got a counter of higgledies next to you, and if you take too many damages, then, well, you won't have enough.
Tales of Games außer für die fürs Nest sich frei bewegen.
Well, speaking as weird places, you get to see a chest on the right side, and you can't reach that, so you will have to find a way to
get was du dachtest, was Tales ist, aber da kannst du nur nach vorne und hinten.
Also bei Tales of Symphonia selbst konnte ich auch nur nach vorne und nach hinten laufen.
Combat, the other members of your party, do they act entirely on their own?
Dann habe ich aber scheinbar die Taste nicht gedrückt.
Well, not only you can send them some commands, but you can also play as them. You can dynamically switch characters during combat. So for the sake of this demo,
deswegen schreibt so noch jede.
And Roland is not playable.
Buchstaben.
You can play as Roland or anybody joining the party. But they can still manage on their own when you're not playing them.
Ja gut, wenn man den Knopf drücken musste, das habe ich wahrscheinlich nicht getan.
Yeah. Well, those wyverns have just really crappy wallets. They keep spilling all their money everywhere.
Morgen weiß ich nicht. Muss ich gucken, kommt drauf an, Selina.
Well, that's the wyverns den. And when you enter that, that's like a dungeon, so you're back into the regular mode. So we're no longer in
die Woche wird ein bisschen anders das sein. Ich bin nicht zu Hause ab
so morgen. For the full proportion areas, as you're calling them, that's sort of like your RPG type.
Nehmen wir mal den PC mit. Ich muss halt gucken, was ich mache. Pokémon kann ich machen.
But you still have the same goal to catch.
Die Switch nehme ich mit.
And the wyverns still have the
same
wallets.
Kauft ihr 1, 2 Switch, Seni.
Who or what are the higgledies?
Ich habe doch 2 Controller erreicht.
Ja, und 1, 2 Switch brauchst du.
They are born from elements like the sun, like the fire.
Ach so, das Game, jetzt habe ich verstanden, okay.
One to
Switch, jetzt habe ich verstanden.
So one of your,
hast du gesagt, du sollst ja 1, 2 Switch
1 bis 2 Switch-Konsolen für den Klaus, ja.
And if you find them, they grant you some specific powers. Wow. So here we are arriving in the den, so
I feel like there's gonna be a boss fight here, maybe.
I think it's gonna be fine. I don't think any enemies.
Die kleinen Viecher sehen witzig aus.
Perfectly safe.
Ich merke schon wieder, weil wieder meinen runterladen zu müssen.
It's a little quiet. Too quiet. I got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, these guys are great. So now we've seen some of the sort of low-level wyverns, but this guy,
he's a warlord.
Yeah, there we go. He gets the armor. The other ones just kind of get beat up without any clothes.
So we're going to take a look at one of the larger boss encounters in the game right now.
Well, this mission is pretty early in the game, so it's not the biggest boss you'll see, but it's still pretty dangerous. Actually, we failed that mission quite a lot.
Really?
Off stage, so don't be afraid if everything turns wrong for us.
Bin ich ja überfragt, Selina. Eventuell gar nicht. Das Problem ist halt, wie gesagt, dass ich Giveaways weniger machen kann auf beiden Plattformen. Ich muss mir halt da irgendwie irgendwann mal was einfallen lassen extra.
Oh, really? Is that yeah?
Aber momentan stört es mich
nicht. Something that's been discussed? Is that a possibility?
Well, we're still looking at every possibility all the time. You know how it is. We're looking at what makes sense. Right now, the team is entirely focused on making Ni no Kuni 2 and dedicated in making the best experience possible. I mean, the game has been in the plan for several years now. But we'll see about the fan, what they want, how they want it, and we'll act accordingly. But as of today, unfortunately, I can't confirm a remaster of the game, obviously.
Alright, so how's our battle going here?
So, as you can see, there's a bunch of minions that the Wyvern Warlord has spawned, and the tactic is to kill them off first, so that you can get the mana. The mana is the little crystals in blue
Was? Hat bei Symphonia hat aber weniger Sinn gemacht. Pikmin, braucht ihr das Game? Was?
You have
Family Sharing auf Steam kann
Fred was trying to get the Higgledies up, but
ach, du holst das, Xanator?
Was denn?
Ni no Kuni 2. Das wäre cool, dann könnte man wirklich für Family Share, dann müsste ich es mir kaufen.
Yeah, I'm very worried about losing all these little Higgledies.
Muss aber erstmal lange warten.
I've become quite attached to them over the last few minutes.
Don't worry, you always have them. It's just for the
also mir werden 20 Leute angezeigt insgesamt schauen zu. Die meisten werden wahrscheinlich aber auf Twitch sein. Selina.
Now, this wyvern's probably a little
confused
that these cat-eared people and their weird ghost children just showed up to kick their butts.
Nice.
I'm not sure because, you know,
5 auf Twitch, das sind 5 bei YouTube, glaube
ich. They gotta be expecting somebody to kick their ass at some point. And no, in the world of Ni no Kuni, you've got several types and races of character living in harmony. So, for instance, Ding Dong Dell, the original kingdom from Evan,
die Bossfights dauern aber ganz schön lang da. Aber ich finde das Kampfsystem cool.
All the time, but at least it's not that uncommon for people to be in the same cavern fighting wyverns.
Now I imagine going through the story, collecting things all over the overworld is going to take
players a bisschen wie Kingdom Hearts ist, dann passt.
Do you guys have a sort of estimation of how many hours it might take?
Oh, you're looking north of 50 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
50 hours.
It's going to be a long game, especially if you want to look for all the rare Higgledies.
Nur 15 Stunden, ne? Oder 50 im Sinne von 50.
New modes that we haven't really shown yet, but that includes managing the kingdom of Evan and managing the battles.
All of
that will take some time and will offer some endgame features for the players. So as you can see,
50 Stunden bis man es durch hat. Oh, das ist nice.
The last quarter of his life now, and every now and then they will drop some
15 wäre zu wenig.
Orbs, just like the first game, that will give you a specific boost and will help you use your abilities without restraint.
Wie lange geht der Stream? Danach kommt noch Dragon Ball und dann ist für heute Schluss.
So using
morgen kommt aber auch wieder.
Is, usually
ja, morgen kommt auch wieder.
On the floor because
mit anderen Games.
In the air, see, that's the golden orb. So right now,
nice, die Form ist witzig.
All these abilities and there we go.
Tears his head
so
off.
That's it for that wyvern.
Drinks the blood. Yeah. This gets really dark. M-rated.
Nice. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for bringing Ni no Kuni 2 by the IGN stage today.
So, da kommt jetzt Dragon Ball und dann ist gut.
Yes, January 19th next year.
January 19th. Cool.
And it's coming on a PC.
Ach, am 19. Januar schon.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Stay tuned. We still have more games to show you here at Gamescom on IGN Live after this.
Was, more Games? Vielleicht nach Dragon Ball noch nicht fertig?
Doch. Das steht da immer.
Ne, das hat er gesagt.
IGN Live at Gamescom 2017 is presented by Fortnite, available now, and Destiny 2. Pre-purchase exclusively on Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access.
Für die Werbung kann ich nicht, dass es laut ist.
We need your help. The storm came, the monsters followed. Now, it's time to fight back.
So lang,
Show them what Guardians are made of.
Aber auch mit dem Destiny.
Ah,
Hold on back there!
Pre-purchase Destiny 2 exclusively at Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access.
Wir haben doch ein Rad ab mit der Lautstärke. Ja, Xanator, komm hoch. Geh ins Teamspeak, du kannst ja gerne hoch.
PUBG on
Warte.
Xbox One. I am very, very excited to try this out. I'm interested to see how different it's going to be changing weapons.
Sag, wenn du im TS bist.
I hope jumping feels a little bit better, but mostly I just want to get one kill. I'm very stealthy in this game, so my goal here is just one kill, all right? Wish me luck. Let's do it. Oh no! I'm being shot at, but I can't see where they are.
Na, hab dich.
Where are you? Come on. Maybe
User was moved
to
your channel.
Hallo?
Hallo. Wenn sie jetzt C18 zeigen, bin ich zufrieden.
Alright, you guys. I didn't get a chicken dinner, but I did get in the top 50, which
Zeig
is
mich
all I
doppelt,
really
so
wanted.
lustig.
And I have to say, overall, I'm very, very impressed with how PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds handles on Xbox. It looks really great. It plays really great.
Also nur gehst du zu IGN halt selbst hin.
Changing weapons and managing your inventory, but I don't think it's different enough for anyone to have trouble picking it up. And one thing that actually felt better was jumping. I found it a lot easier to jump over things and navigate that
Du
way.
fährst Donnerstag nach Italien, Selina, okay?
Overall, I was
Was machst
really
denn da?
happy with the experience and can't wait to see how active people are when this is actually out on Xbox. It's a very, very exciting thing to come to console players, and hopefully we'll see you online very, very soon. For more on Gamescom and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, keep it locked.
Wieder da.
Ja. So, Druck am Ball, komm.
Jetzt kommt erst nochmal Destiny. Schade.
Jetzt kommt Druck am Ball.
Welcome back to IGN Live from Gamescom, and we are
Druck am-
about to
wieso
get a
Druck am Ball?
live gameplay demo of Dragon Ball Fighters. I'm joined by
sich so dumm an.
ladies and gentlemen. Welcome
Ach,
to
du
the
auch,
IGN
ja auch,
Live.
nee.
I know you guys are going to jump into
Danke.
matches real quick.
Es war Bann,
give us a
weißt
general
du?
overview. This is a Dragon Ball fighting game, which
Das wird niemals
at
passieren.
first glance,
So
the first thing you notice is that it
Jetzt.
looks amazing.
Yes,
It looks
and
exactly
thank you.
like
Ja, C18.
watching an episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this game graphically we've.
Und ich habe gehört, du hast Seni in dem Game auseinandergenommen.
Yeah.
Einmal am
Here
Ende,
you
ja.
can see that, as you said, it's basically playing
Ich habe auch ihn auf
Dragon Ball
einmal.
anime episode, so which
Mit
is,
Buch.
I mean, personally, and I think it's the case for many fans around the world, it's like a childhood dream that comes true, basically. You've always wanted to trigger just incredible attacks with your favorite characters with this kind of graphical identity.
Like I've never.
Das Game sieht halt von dem Overlay her
I
aus
don't think
1
I've
zu
ever
1
seen
aus
another
wie
game
das
that
Marvel
looks
gegen
this
Capcom, ne?
much like
Hab ich doch gesagt.
its source material. Like, how did you accomplish that? Did you have to invent new techniques?
Oh, C18 ist
So
geil.
basically, I mean, the main answer to this question is the fact that we are working very closely with a studio, a very famous studio called Arc System Works.
Right.
So they are very famous for their expertise in 2D fighting game and for the graphical identity they managed to create for the title. So we really thought that it would be a perfect fit for the Dragon Ball brand to have this kind of graphical identity.
I see.
And then graphically speaking, so they are using a kind of technical stuff called 2.5
Danke, No Name, für den Follow.
meaning that, you know, like the moves of the characters are actually 2D, so they can only move left and right, but the characters themselves are made out of 3D models. So you can see them like front, like this, they can turn around, they can have all these kind of different movesets that wouldn't be possible with only pure 2D graphics.
I see. Wow, it's really interesting. So we know it's an absolutely gorgeous fighting game, but tell us a little bit about the
Trunks,
mechanics.
jawohl.
Is it true that you kind of borrowed Marvel vs. Capcom's control scheme, or were inspired by that? Or?
Yeah, that's actually the genre of game which is called 3 vs 3 fighting game.
Der ist aber nicht lang drin,
so
glaub ich.
basically you're doing
Der
a
rechte
team of
Spieler
3
ist scheiße.
characters, and the really interesting thing about this
Der arme
specific
Trunks.
gameplay is the deepness that it brings to the fighting experience. Because I mean, you cannot control only one character. Obviously, you have to have skills on different
Das sind so wie die zwei, wo da mit uns gespielt haben.
And you can also mix the
Man hat einfach den Unterschied gemerkt.
Own combination of fighting styles, because obviously they all have their own way of fighting, their own special abilities.
AC18 ist doch cool, nehme ich.
He's the one who's on the left. I think you can see it.
So obviously you're going to have a bunch of characters that are going to be familiar to Dragon Ball fans. But what about the,
das hat er auch gemacht bei mir die ganze Zeit.
The locations also going to be something
das Sven, wir sind die Ecke die ganze Zeit.
Ja, da gehörst du hin.
Ja, das stimmt sogar. Ich stimme dem Sven sogar zu.
Egal, scheiße.
Das ist Zweck von so einem Game.
Das Game hat Bock gemacht.
And as you said, and it's a good point, I mean, on top
of
the graphical
Selina,
identity, the game is really faithful in its content also. So you can see,
ich muss gucken, wann ich morgen beim Klaus bin, so ich denke mal so spätestens 16 Uhr, denke ich, klappt das.
So faithful and so true to the original masterpiece.
What about voice acting?
And voice acting also, so we have Japanese and English voice acting. And they're both the same as the anime, so people can re-experience this old
Hast du schon gedacht, die kriegen andere?
This kind of immersive
Nein, ich dachte, das ist nur Englisch.
Ja, Japanisch ist auch drin. Hatten wir doch eh in der Konsole, also in unserer Version.
Echt? Ich habe nur drauf aufgepasst. Ich war voll damit beschäftigt, die Steuerung rauszufinden.
Nee, bei uns war das auch.
We know that most of the fans, I mean, many fans
Trunks mit der gelben Jacke sieht ja geil aus.
They feel it's more,
oh mein fucking Gott.
faithful to the original.
So, guck mal, die haben sogar 3 neue Maps drin.
Ja, der Canyon ist drin, die Town ist drin und Self Game ist drin. Nice.
That's a specificity of their markets, but in Europe
die hatten wir alle nicht.
Really like the Japanese original voiceovers.
That's interesting.
Der geilste Fight war pur. Ich denke, ich bin da so Gohan, hau den zusammen.
Have you announced the full roster yet?
Oh mein Gott, der Trunks sieht wirklich sexy aus in der gelben Jacke.
Der blaue so far we have a total of 13 characters and we have already some really
ist halt einfach Cell Junior.
Iconic fighters.
Sonio, danke für den Follow.
Interesting and important thing to keep
das
in
Game
mind
wird
when
so
talking
Bombe.
about the roster is the fact that there's
ja,
no
und ich weiß jetzt auch die Steuerung, Alex.
Ja, ich aber nicht. Aber ist egal, ich krieg das hin.
Das hast du aber gemerkt am Ende, dass ich sie wusste.
Ja, ja. Du spielst aber auch so Spiele öfter.
Ja, ein klein wenig.
Du hast ja dein ganzes Steam-Ding, ist ja fast voll von so Spielen.
Oh yes!
Yes.
Ich habe jetzt innerhalb von dieser kurzen Sekunde gesehen, dass Trunks mindestens 2 Charges hat, und dann wird's richtig aussehen.
Nice.
Ich werde aber auch Trunks spielen.
Cool and exciting features that are
das nützt ja aber nichts, wenn der bessere Trunks ist.
Werden wir sehen. Ja, am Anfang zumindest, ja.
Er zerstört dich einfach.
Ah, das war einmal.
Und sobald er länger das spielt, sehen die Menschen nicht einfach.
Das war die letzte Runde.
Genau,
letzte Runde hat man dann gesehen, ich wusste es.
Footsteps, danke für den Follow. Aber ich finde aber auch den weißen Anzug von C16 ganz cool. Piccolo in Rot, naja, kann man sich drüber streiten.
Der sieht gerade noch gut aus, der weiße C16 sieht scheiße aus, finde ich.
Kann wieder Geschmäcker unterschiedlich halt, ne? Wir haben aber noch keine Ulti gesehen.
Trigger different attacks.
Kommt bei dem Game auch nicht auf die Ultis drauf an. Der größte Fehler, den du machen kannst bei dem Fight-Game, deine Energy Bar eigentlich für Ultis zu verschwenden. Wenn du genug Power hast und du weißt, okay, es ist der letzte Charakter, dann hau ihn raus. Aber ansonsten, so wie es der weiße C16 gerade macht, ist es viel wichtiger eigentlich, dass es für Teleports und sowas verwendest.
Dario, ich glaube, da werde ich dich jetzt schon enttäuschen können. Es sollen eigentlich fast keine Super-Charaktere drin sein, außer die Blues.
Haben sie schon gesagt, es sollen keine drin sein. Die einzigen, die drin sind, sind die von Revival of S. Deswegen hat ja auch Super Saiyan Blue, Goku und Vegeta nicht die neue Klamotte an von Wiss.
Doch, die haben die an. Die haben die an, haben sie doch in diesem...
Ja, aber nicht das vom Wiss.
Nicht die Wiss-Klamotte, die haben die eigenen Klamotten noch an. Vegeta hat nicht seinen schwarzen Anzug an, der hat seinen blauen immer noch an.
Finde ich sogar auch, ja.
Nö, finde ich nicht.
Niemals.
Mag die von Goku aber wesentlich mehr.
Ja. Rage Trunks ist auch cool. Ich habe ja auch für den gewotet, dass man da abstimmen konnte, aber ich glaube nicht, dass der reinkommt.
Ist halt leider schade, das heißt, das Hit
ja, Hit auch nicht, Black Goku wird nicht drin sein.
Alter, wie geil Goku mit blauem Anzug aussieht.
Den habe ich sogar auch gespielt.
Ich sag dir, wenn Jiren reinkommt, ist das ein direkter Kaufgrund für mich. Nur dieser eine Charakter.
Ja, dann werde ich jetzt schon enttäuschen, wie gesagt.
Ja, weißt du ja nicht. Kann ja sein, dass sie später DLC rausbringen. Wenn dann eins mit Jiren rauskommt.
Ja, als DLC könnte ich mir sowas wiederum vorstellen.
Really looking forward to sharing
Dafür ist er, glaube ich, zu
Kekse, Bumm! Beim Sven.
Wieso, bis das Game draußen ist, werden wahrscheinlich noch 20 neue Charaktere vorgestellt.
Welche von Anime-Spielen magst du am meisten? Naruto, Dragon Ball, Pokémon, Digimon, das sind so meine.
Yeah, definitely. So, generally speaking on this game, our objective and the way we're approaching competition and potentially esport is that we don't want to, I would say, to impose the game to the fighting community, if you see what I mean. We first want to let them play it,
so schade, dass das nicht mehr in Mannheim ist, ne?
And gain some
Würde jetzt nochmal hinfahren.
From the fighting game community.
Hätte ich das gewusst, dass man auch heute reingehen könnte, wäre ich heute früh hingerast.
Ja. Son Gohan in schwarzen Anzug und in weißen sehen auch cool aus.
I mean, going crazy and they wanted to see this game everywhere at eSport.
Gab's einen schwarzen Vegeta? Hatten wir das bei uns auch?
Ja, die Farben hatten wir auch alle.
Indeed, as you said, at EVO, we ran our first competition on the game and it went
Krillin natürlich,
well.
endlich sieht man den mal.
Even if it's not released yet, we've seen players doing some incredible moves and even a pretty legendary comeback.
Ja, C16 wird wiederbelebt in dem Teil.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing we're definitely looking into it, doing like a broader competitive approach.
Wird schwer.
And this Friday, actually, we even have our first ESL tournament. So this Friday
Finde ich mal voll nett.
With even a really like exclusive and world premiere announcement.
So, wenn noch dann machen, sind tollpatschig.
Be sure to attend this.
We look forward to hearing more about that. What about online features?
So online features, yes, because I mean we do know that today people want to compete online. They want to fight. They want to enjoy the game with other players around the world. So we revealed a few things so far, especially what we call the party match, which is basically like a really interesting and fun feature. So as you can see, the game is a 3 versus 3.
Du musst generell das Spiel spielen können. Du kannst nicht einen Charakter spielen, du musst das Spiel spielen können.
Actually 6 players, and
each
player is controlling one character. So every time you're switching character during the fight, you're also switching the player. So your teammate is going to take the lead and be the one fighting, and he's going to fight until he dies or decide to switch again character. So that's, I would say, a more fun and casual way to enjoy this great fighting experience.
Is there voice chat supported? I'm just wondering, is there a way to communicate with your team members to know when to switch characters?
Actually, there's a way, and it's a pretty fun and interactive way. You're using what we call the stamps. So it's, to make it simple, it's like an image of coming from the Dragon Ball universe. It can be a character doing like a special pose or something, and each stamp is associated with a specific message. So during the fight, you can use those stamps to communicate with your teammates. So for example, if he's having a hard time beating the enemy, you can use a stamp saying, hey, come on, switch with me, I'm ready to battle. Or you can criticize him or congratulate him if he's doing a good job. So that's a really nice way to, I mean, keep the fighting experience, but add this kind of like communication and interaction between players.
Sure. And you have 2 betas coming up, right? Both open and closed?
Yeah, exactly. So we have first of all the closed beta coming mid-September, so 16th and 17th. So this one will be mostly about testing the gameplay, the balance of the characters. So for the development team, it's really a way to see if there is some.
Guck, Alex, die Farbe hatten wir auch. Das sieht zwar schwarz aus, aber ein relativ dunkles Blau. Die hatte ich auch, die dauerhaft.
And then we have an open beta in January. And this one is mainly about stress testing the game to see, like, on a broader scale, all the online features and how the servers can support all of this. And eventually, if we identify some other gameplay modification that needs to be done, that will be some first insight for free catch, for example.
Sure. Are you thinking about how to onboard players who are Dragon Ball fans experience with fighting games? Is there a tutorial, practice mode?
Yeah, definitely. There will be this kind of feature in the game. And generally speaking, I mean, if you get your hands on the game, even from the first match you're doing, even if you don't know
ja, Seni, ein neues
I'm
Naruto-Game ist auch
believing
angekündigt worden,
you
ja.
can really trigger some impressive attack.
Gibt es auch schon einen
And you can
Trailer
really
zu, musst mal gucken bei Bandai
experience
Namco
and
auf
enjoy
dem
this whole
YouTube-Kanal.
Dragon Ball identity and feeling. So the good thing is that I would say there's really we told you it was the best one. Yeah. There's really like 2 layers of gameplay, I would say.
Jetzt kommen die ganzen Dragon Ball Fans. Ja, es kommen die Dragon Ball Fans.
51 Leute gucken dir gerade zu.
The second one that is way deeper with
Auf
combination of combos, with chain, with
Wie grün, danke für den Follow.
Attacks.
Hast du gehört? 51, Vanessa Jago.
Danke für den Follow.
Wir gucken 50 Leute zu auf Twitch.
How cool the game
wow.
is. Really looks amazing.
Super, danke für den Follow.
Als ob.
Yeah, actually this morning.
Duan, danke für den Follow.
Und weißt es nur nicht, weil du die scheiß Alerts aus hast.
2018. Oh, cool. So a few months.
Falls es ein Host ist, vielen Dank.
Very excited to release the game and to see.
Vielen Dank. Bitte gib dich zu erkennen, wer es auch immer war.
Enjoying this
Lol, das Witzige ist aber, die werden alle bei TP nicht angezeigt, hä?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The game is Dragon Ball Fighters. It looks
Kann auch
awesome.
sein, dass vom Wambo wieder ist.
53 Leute.
After this.
Glaube ich nicht, vom Wambo. Wambo lässt sich ja nicht da.
Geht doch noch weiter.
Game kommt raus im Februar, Alex.
Ja, weiß ich schon. Wird instant gekauft.
IGN Live at Gamescom 2017 is presented by Fortnite, available now, and Destiny 2. Pre-purchase exclusively on Blizzard Battle.net and get early beta access.
Wird instant gekauft.
If you're out there, we need your help. The storm came, the monsters followed. Now, it's time to fight back.
Das macht mich nicht schwach, so und so viele Zuschauer. Was habe ich schon gemacht? Nee, es war Dragon Ball halt.
Purchase Destiny 2 exclusively at Blizzard Battle.net and get
Ja, das Spiel sieht gut aus. Das wird lustig.
Ja.
Destiny 2 is scrapping all your guns, light levels, abilities,
Net PS4, Dario.
and armor from
PC.
the previous game.
So, everything is gone. Your stuff, my stuff, most importantly, my stuff.
But Bungie is also adding a bunch of new
Cool,
stuff,
jetzt für den
a lot of
PC.
which is directly in response to community feedback and criticism. Here are 11 things that are new to Destiny 2.
Janis, danke für den Follow. Fühlt euch alle willkommen.
New villain Dominus
Ich bin nur
Gaull
gerade ein
has
bisschen
destroyed
überfordert.
the tower and
So
drained
ist
the power
Katy
of the
Perry.
Traveler. He's the military emperor of the Cabal Empire and leader of the inexorable Red Legion, a more advanced and brutal division than any faced previously. And they sure know how to make an entrance.
Wenn das wirklich ein
Host
Host war,
in Destiny 2.
geb dich zu
There's Titan,
entdecken oder so irgendwie. Keine Ahnung.
Nessus,
Ich bin gerade.
Io, and finally the European Dead Zone on Earth. This is one of the first areas you'll explore and is twice the size of any location Bungie has ever built. A jagged shard of the Traveler rests there, which is used by the Guardians to rebuild their light abilities at their new base of operations, the Farm. The Farm is Destiny 2's answer to the Tower. This refugee camp is tied to the story, so advancing through the game will make the population grow as Guardians rebuild their strength after the attack. The farm can support 26 players compared to the tower's 16 and is packed with ways to kill time with all the extra players crammed into the area, including a soccer pitch,
Tokika, auch dir Dankeschön.
your character glow or run faster, and most importantly, chickens.
Wenn ich einen neuen Nintendo habe, können wir dann auch mal kämpfen. Natürlich, Selina, natürlich.
There's the endless veil, the cramped, deserted streets of Earth's midtown.
Ich nehme alle Herausforderungen an.
And of course Vostok, which may look familiar if you visited Felwinter Peak in Destiny 1's
Nee, Destiny ist, glaube ich, nicht ein Sven seins.
Ich habe den ersten gesucht und bin Vollidiot.
Doch, okay, dann ist er dabei.
Weiß ich noch nicht, ich bin noch überlegen, ich denke aber schon.
63 macht mich nicht schwach.
So tactics and cooperation are vital in 2 tense new gameplay modes.
Wer auch immer das gehostet hat, vielen, vielen Dank.
In survival, teams share 8 lives between them. Once they've all been used,
Es tut mir leid, dass es nicht angezeigt worden ist.
Hast du es eigentlich wieder reingemacht?
Ich glaube, das wird jetzt gar nicht mehr.
Doch, mach die mal rein, guck mal, ob die Leute überhaupt kommen.
Ausführung, danke für den Follow. Executor, danke für den
Mach mal
Follow.
bitte die Alerts an.
Destiny has always been built upon
Hab
3
ich.
core classes:
Kanto,
Titans,
danke für den
Warlocks,
Follow.
and Hunters. And each has always had its own specialization options, known as
Ich muss
subclasses.
gucken, den
that,
Duftslayer,
among other
dankeschön.
things, are armed with specific super moves. Destiny 2 has whipped the cloak of 3 new
Aber Alex, wir müssen es dann definitiv oft zocken. Ich muss Gefühl für kriegen mit dem Fightstick bei dem Game.
Dragon Ball oder was?
Klar.
Ja, okay. Ja, bis jetzt kommt nix. Guck mal, ob sich das oben anzeigt bei mir, bei den Followern. Siehst, da müssten jetzt einige reingekommen sein. Wenn du den aktualisierst bei mir.
Destiny 1's primary, secondary, and heavy weapons have been replaced with 3 new weapon slots:
Ich will gar nicht wissen, wie viel sind.
energy, and power. You'll find most of your familiar hand cannons, assault, and scout rifles in the kinetic slots.
Shinka hat angefangen, wie viel sind's? 70 Leute!
Du bist gleich bei 1000.
Ah, Tara, danke für den Follow. Jetzt kommen sie rein. GG Guy, dankeschön. GG, wirklich GG.
Ja, jetzt kommen sie auch alle erst bei Tibi.
Shaking up the traditional long-range, close-range binary of the first game. Clans now form the backbone of the community.
Kannst du mir einen Gefallen tun, jetzt aber das Bild wenigstens wegmachen, dass nur der Name da steht.
And it's easier to find people to actually play with. There are also rewards every clan member will receive, depending on how its players are progressing. Guided games is a way for solo players to find clans
Das wäre halt
to play
perfekt.
with. Matchmaking teams who are already hosting a game and are just looking for 1 or 2 more guardians, with the players needed to complete their squads. Destiny 2 places a greater emphasis on exploration. NPCs you meet will mark the map with something called lost sectors, which are fully fledged dungeons that you can stumble
auch dir
across or
Dankeschön
actively search
für den
for in the
Follow.
open world.
Vielen, vielen Dank. Ich bin ein bisschen überfordert.
And, of course, a whole lot of shiny loot.
Yeah, right? That's what I thought.
Adventures pepper the map of every planet you visit and are fully voiced, self-contained stories
Aber dass
that
keiner
delve
was
deeper
schreibt, ist
into the
halt komisch.
location you're currently exploring. Whereas in the first game you collected grimoire cards to learn the backstory of the game, Destiny 2 Adventures take a leaf out of open-world RPG's books by making these side quests the delivery vehicle for lore. And finally, you no longer have to go into orbit to travel from one location to the next. You can select destinations from your current position and launch into another area of the game straight away.
Okay.
We've got loads more information on each of the entries in this list as part of our IGN firsts. For instance, you could go check out 7 minutes of survival gameplay on the Altar of Flame, or take a tour of the farm and see that soccer pitch for yourself.
Hey Franco, ist auch dir danke, wenn du echt bist. Wow, jetzt hängt sogar mein Stream. Ja, alles gut, lass es einfach, alles gut.
Das ist gleich 5500, Seni.
5500?
Ja. 5500 auf jeden Fall, Seni. Ich bin gerade aber bei 1475 was.
Ja, ich habe 5000 verstanden bei dir. Vielen, vielen Dank.
That's a wrap on day 1 of IGN's live coverage of Gamescom from Germany.
Coming to the show tomorrow, we've got Need for Speed Payback, Overwatch, and Star Wars Battlefront.
We will see you guys same time, same place tomorrow.
Ich sag's nicht gerne, aber bei mir hast du nur 57. Bei mir auch gerade. Es waren gerade mehr.
Was denn?
Ich glaub fewer.
56 hast du gerade.
Ja, Pokémon war schon klasse, Lina.
Aber die sind aber auch alle noch da, Seni.
Ist vielleicht wirklich ein Host. Dass sie halt noch drüben im Chat sind.
Guck mal, warte mal. Nein, manche davon sind sogar schon älter.
Siehst du? Ja, BBN, danke für den Follow.
Siehst du?
Ja, dann ist das vielleicht wirklich.
Seni, das ist Wahrheit, du hast 66 Zuschauer.
Vielleicht war es ja der Ed.
Ja, glaube ich nicht. Da wäre Heavy Metal und so dabei.
Ja, stimmt.
Und da würden die auch was schreiben. Der Ed streamt noch nicht. Ich stream erst nachher. Komm, wenn überhaupt.
So, das war's aber für heute, wie es aussieht bei denen. Morgen geht's dann weiter. Da würde ich morgen dann da auch weitermachen.
Ed, warte mal, was? Warte mal. 15 Uhr wieder morgen.
Vielen, vielen Dank für die ganzen Follower. Ich sehe gerade, das nimmt überhaupt kein Ende.
Bleib einfach mal on. Mach einfach mal nichts mehr.
Mach einfach mal nichts mehr.
Mach einfach mal nicht. Ja.
Laber doch keinen Müll.
Nein, mach einfach.
Das heißt, bitte das X vergessen. Ja, nee, das K. Ja, wir können auch einfach weiter so reden, wenn ihr wollt. Das ist überhaupt kein Problem.
Dann machen wir daraus Game Talkshow.
Bin nur gerade ein bisschen verwirrt, ey.
Sollen wir nachgucken, wie viele jetzt sind, Seni? Ob wir schon die 1500 haben? Ah, nee, aber fast.
Das ist doch bekloppt. Ihr seid doch bekloppt.
Ich glaube, die 40 sind richtig. Weil die hauen auch nicht mehr ab.
Es ist schade, dass ich wirklich nicht sehe, wer mich gehostet hat.
Gar keiner.
Doch, jetzt gehen sie weg. 38 sind es nur noch.
Aber voll aus kriegst du trotzdem noch. Ach du Scheiß. Ist aber kein Host in...
Leute, übertreibt nicht. Wenn wir die
Mach mal
1500 hinkriegen, ey, das wäre ja Hammer.
mit Fakes, super.
Wenn's Fakes sind, dann will ich sie nicht haben. Es kommt aber jetzt eh keiner mehr dazu.
Ich hab Hosts auch mal im Chat angemacht, ne?
Was machen wir jetzt? Na, ich mache einfach jetzt aus, ist fertig. Also Leute, morgen machen wir dann gerne weiter. Was denn?
Warte, erst muss ich hier.
Wieso machst du Talkshow? Wir hören doch jetzt auf.
Weil es generell schon Talkshow vorher war.
Weil das ist eh, wenn das Faker sind, lohnt sich das, bringt mir das nichts.
Vielleicht sind es ja gar keine Faker.
Dann bedanke ich mich auf jeden Fall. Aber dennoch muss man das jetzt nicht ausnutzen.
Ja doch.
Nein, sowas
dann muss man das ausnutzen.
Nee, weil gerade sowas scheiße ist. Danke, Kiro.
1501.
Wo wohnst du eigentlich? Ich wohne in Hessen, näher Mannheim.
Hast du gehört?
Ja, ist ja gut.
1501.
Ja, morgen sind sie wieder weg.
Meinst du?
Mhm.
Aber da kommen direkt wieder die nächsten 3.
Also Leute, es ist gut. Ich muss jetzt erstmal auf.
Nee, Seni muss doch nicht schlafen.
Ich gehe nicht schlafen, aber ich mache für heute
Doch, du gehst Haya machen.
Also Leute, macht's gut.
Warten auf den 5. Follow.
Morgen machen wir dann gern weiter. Warte auf den 5. Follow.
Ja.
Wieso nutzt du sowas aus? Ganz ehrlich.
Wieso nicht?
Weil sowas billig ist.
Was?
Was? Jetzt nochmal zum Abschluss das Lied. Schlaft gut, ja? Macht's gut, bis morgen. Und wir sehen uns dann wieder, wenn es wieder mit heißt. Was ist denn jetzt wieder?
Weiß ich noch nicht.
Wer war das gerade?
Ich nicht.
Ja,
ich hab auch gehört. Wenn ich's gehört habe, kann ich's wohl kaum sein.
Na jedenfalls. Also bis morgen, ne? Macht's gut, haut darin. Bis dann.
Ja.
Tschüss.
Tüdelö.
Und danke für die ganzen Follower und den Host eventuell. Tschüss.
Wenn du nicht gesehen hast.